Chapter 153, 10th of January. The National Martial Arts Championship for new students officially began. Early in the morning, countless people gathered in front of MCMAU's main gate. In front of them, countless reporters occupied the front lines, their cameras flashing nonstop. Magic City's Governor Huang is here. Department of Education's Deputy Minister Zhang. Magic City Department of Investigation Services Director. Are those people from the military department? People from the business world are here too. That's the Deputy CEO of Fosun, right? Pacific Insurance's CEO is here too. He's definitely up to no good. Don't tell me he's here to claim someone's life? Outside the crowd, Fang Yuan stood on her tiptoes, sweating anxiously. She said angrily, "We can't see anything. Why won't they let us in?" Tan Jinping smiled and comforted her. "When the VIPs enter, it'll be our turn." Compared to the VIPs in the center, they were lucky to be able to enter and watch the battle. Tan Jinping did not ask for much. As for his superior's superior, the Department of Education's deputy minister, that had nothing to do with Tan Jinping. There were too many small fries like him. How would they know who he was? "Where are the martial arts university students?" Someone asked curiously. Tan Jinping did not care who asked and said casually, "I think they entered from another gate." Wu Zhihao, on the other hand, complained, "Where did that kid Fang Ping go? I wanted him to bring us in earlier, but he's already gone. My brother said he had something to do, so he asked us to go in first." Fang Yuan helped her brother explain. If Fang Ping had nothing to do, he would not have left her, his sister. The few of them followed the crowd, pushing and shoving as they chatted loudly. The VIPs in the center had entered one after another. Soon it was their turn. Very soon, when the VIPs entered, MCMU's side began to lead the team and arrange for the audience to enter. 7 or 8 minutes later, everyone followed the team and walked into MCMU's stadium. The crowd had just entered, and it was a little noisy. Soon, a powerhouse went up on the big stage in the center of the stadium and shouted, "Silence! Find your seats. Don't make any noise. This is a martial arts championship, a non-celebrity concert. Maintaining silence is the greatest respect for every martial artist. No one is allowed to interfere with the competition's order. No one is allowed to make noise for no reason. No one is allowed to insult the participants." The expert on the stage announced many rules in a row, and the crowd gradually quieted down. Only then did everyone realize that this was not a concert that they usually went to watch, and the friendly competition was not a theatrical troupe either. Any martial artist was a privileged class in society. Allowing them to enter the arena to spectate today was already a first. Aside from the underground boxing markets, ordinary people were not allowed to spectate such formal large-scale competitions. After announcing the rules, the martial artist on stage continued. The first National Freshman Exchange competition officially begins. The audience was stunned for a moment. So fast? The leader's speech is over? Aren't the guests going to introduce themselves? While everyone was still in a daze, someone at the side of the stage held a microphone and said loudly, "Ladies and gentlemen, please keep quiet. For this exchange competition, the beautiful martial artist beside me, and I will be explaining it to everyone. Let me introduce myself. I'm Liu Huarong, a rank for martial artist from the Martial Alliance. Chun Shuyan, rank for martial artist from the Ministry of Education." Liu Huarong looked very young, in his early 30s, and he always had a smile on his face. Although Chun Shuyan also had a smile on her face, it was not as natural. This exchange competition was open to the public, allowing ordinary people to spectate. There was no consensus on this before, so everyone had a lot of ideas on how to organize the competition. Some suggested that it should be more approachable, and that they could even invite some famous amusing hosts in the industry to explain. However, many people disagreed, thinking that it should be more serious. The exchange competition was not a circus, nor was it an exhibition competition. This was a very serious martial arts competition. There were many things involved, including the thoughts of the participating martial artists. These people were prodigies, not circus members. After arguing for a while, they finally came to a compromise. They invited the glib Liu Huarong to do some simple on-site explanations, and also invited Chen Shuiyin from the Ministry of Education to be the secondary host, mainly responsible for supervision. This was to prevent Lu Huarong from getting carried away and affecting the competition. Both of them introduced themselves. Soon, Lu Huarong smiled and said, "To be honest, this is the first time I'm hosting a large-scale martial arts championship in front of so many people. Let's cut to the chase. I'll briefly introduce the background of this exchange competition. There were a total of 99 martial arts universities in the Sino Nation. Capital City Martial Arts University and Magic City Martial Arts University were the most well-known. The other 97 universities were Sino Nation Martial Arts University, Capital City University, East Sino Nation Normal University, South Capital Martial Arts University. 8 martial arts universities formed the 8-School Alliance. As for the other 89 martial arts universities, they formed the Martial Arts University Alliance. This time, the 4 teams participating in the championship were Capital City Martial Arts University, Magic City Martial Arts University, 8-School Alliance, and Martial Arts University Alliance. The competition was a team battle format. Each team could only send out a maximum of 5 people for a one-on-one battle. The loser would step down from the stage, while the winner could continue to accept challenges. The team that remained until the end would be the winner. The rules were simple. In addition, the order of the participants would be reported in advance. The first round of the competition would be decided by drawing lots. The main purpose of today's opening ceremony was to let everyone get to know the members of each team and draw lots to determine their opponents. There were 99 martial arts universities in the country, and there were tens of thousands of new students in martial arts universities. Those who were able to participate in the competition today, even if they were just reserve team members, were the prodigies of Sino Nation's younger generation of martial artists. Next, let us get to know these geniuses. After a few years, we might be able to see their silhouettes at the pinnacle of various industries. Next, let's welcome the host team, Magic City Martial Arts University. Backstage, Fu Chanding straightened his clothes and said nervously, "I'm suddenly a little nervous." "Me too. There are so many people. There are so many grandmasters on the second floor." Everyone was a little nervous, even Fong Ping. Beside him, Bai Ruashi comforted, "Don't be nervous. It's just a formality. It's not a competition today. You must overcome it. If you're nervous this time, you'll be in trouble when you get on the stage." Everyone nodded quickly. There would be so many people in the upcoming battle. If they were nervous this time, they might lose their lives if they made a mistake in the next competition. When he heard the shouts from the front, Fong Ping exhaled and calmed down. "Let's go up." Although everyone was a little nervous, they still had the necessary etiquette. After hearing his words, they all followed Fong Ping to the front stage. At the front stage, while waiting for them to go on stage, Lu Huarong flipped through the information and smiled. "I've seen some of the information on the internet." At that time, Magic City Martial Arts University's student Zhao Lei was very popular. Zhao Lei was Magic City's Gaokao champion in 2008. He was already a rank 1 martial artist before he even entered the university. Everyone thinks that student Zhao Lei will definitely be stronger now. This is inevitable. Unsurprisingly, student Zhao Lei is also in MCMU's participating team, and he's one of the main team members. However, MCMU's team captain this year is not student Zhao Lei. Of course, the captain may not be the strongest, but students who are not strong will definitely not be the captain. Then who is MCMU's captain this time? As Lu Huarong spoke, Fong Ping had already stepped forward. "Everyone, do you see that? The one walking in front of MCMU's team is MCMU's captain, student Fong Ping." "Student Fong Ping, how about you greet everyone?" On stage, Fong Ping bowed slightly and said, "Hello everyone. I'm Fong Ping, a freshman from Magic City Martial Arts University's School of Weaponry." Off stage, Fong Yuan was completely dumbfounded. "That's my brother?" The little girl's head was spinning. Why was Fong Ping on stage, and why was he the captain? Beside her, Xiaoling's eyes lit up, her face full of admiration. Big Brother Fong is actually MCMU's participant, and he's even the captain. Yuan, your brother is too amazing. On the other side, Wu Zhihao and the others seemed to have been cast with a body-freezing spell. They looked at each other. After a while, Wu Zhihao said bitterly, "He's the captain? This guy? He's actually MCMAU's team leader for the competition. He actually didn't tell us." Yang Jian was completely speechless. Lu Ruoqi was relatively calmer. She asked in a low voice, "What is Fang Ping's actual strength?" There was no need for them to guess. Lu Huarong, who was standing at the side of the stage, smiled and said, "Student Fang Ping is from MCMU's School of Weaponry. He's at the peak of rank 1, and he's also the champion of the '08 Auspicious Sun City Martial Sciences examination. Of course, this is information submitted by their school. Don't take it seriously, everyone. MCMU may not necessarily reveal the full strength of their students." Chen Shuiyan, who had been silent all this while, interrupted. "It's not that he might not, but he definitely won't reveal his full strength. According to the information submitted by MCMAU, their captain, Fang Ping, specializes in the lion's roar technique. Do you believe it?" Cough, 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 there's also this one. "I actually didn't see it. Sorry. On the stage, Fang Ping felt a little awkward. Could he not be more reliable? The person who submitted the information from MCMAU. Could he be more serious? After all, Fang Ping was not the only one on the stage." Lu Huarong and Wu Zhihao talked about Fang Ping for a while before the topic quickly moved on to the others. There are a total of 5 members of MCMAU's main team. Besides the captain, Fang Ping, everyone is more familiar with member Zhao Lei. Student Zhao Lei, why don't you get to know everyone? Magic City Martial Arts University, School of Weaponry, freshman Zhao Lei. Student Zhao Lei is very cold. The information says that student Zhao Lei specializes in Ironhead technique. Lu Huarong could not help but laugh. Looks like MCMAU is not going to reveal the true strength of their students. Student Zhao Lei is also a peak rank 1. MCMAU's 3rd member, student Fu Changding. "Hello everyone, I'm Fu Changding, a freshman in the School of Weaponry." Student Fu Changding is also a peak rank 1. He ranked 4th in the Gaokao in Capital City. The 3 people ranked ahead of him have all chosen Capital City Martial Arts University. I think that if MCMAU and CCMU meet, it will be very interesting. There will also be many battles between the top scorers. MCMAU's 4th member of the main team, Yang Xiaoman. Although student Yang Xiaoman is a girl, she is not inferior to men. Her performance in MCMAU is also extremely outstanding. Yang Xiaoman was also Heian Province's provincial champion in '08. MCMU's 5th member of the main team, Zhao Xuemei. This is also a girl. She also entered MCMAU as a champion. Zhao Xuemei was Qinghu City's champion in '08. At the same time, she is also Donglin Province's 3rd flower. MCMAU's reserves team member, Chen Yunxi, peak rank 1 strength, Jingnan Province's champion. MCMU's reserves team member, Tang Songting, peak rank 1 strength. MCMU's reserves team member, Jin Lei, upper stage rank 1 strength. Lu Huarong gave a simple introduction to the 10 members and finally smiled. What a luxurious lineup. 7 peak rank 1 strength members, 3 upper stage rank 1 members who are also close to peak rank 1. The provincial champion and city champion are even more crowded. This is MCMU's new team. Thinking back, after I entered a martial arts university, I reached peak rank 1 in the 2nd semester of my sophomore year. I only entered rank 2 in my junior year. Until I graduated, I was still rank 2. Young people nowadays are very powerful. I think maybe in a few years these prodigies will surpass us. Lu Huarong sighed and quickly smiled. Next, let's invite CCMU's participating members to the stage. As soon as the Capital City Martial Arts University's team appeared, Fang Ping and the others all looked over. The leader was a skinny boy who wasn't very tall. It didn't take long for the crowd to know who that person was. MCMU's team leader is a little unexpected, but CCMU's team leader was guessed correctly. Han Su, peak rank 1 strength, National Martial Science Exam Champion. Student Han Su, are you really rank 1 strength? Lu Huarong asked with a smile. Han Su was extremely serious and said meticulously, I am peak rank 1. Capital City Martial Arts University's 10 members are all peak rank 1 martial artists, no rank 2. CCMU's lineup is even more luxurious. All 10 of them are peak rank 1 martial artists. Fong Ping and the others were slightly solemn. It was not easy for MCMAU to gather 7 peak rank 1 martial artists, but they did not expect CCMAU to have all of them. When the 8 School Alliance's members went on stage, the lineup was also very luxurious. The captain, Wei Bin, and 4 members of the main team were also peak rank 1. The other 5 were also upper stage rank 1. Among them was East Sino Nation Normal University's Chen Hongwei. Of course, after seeing so many peak rank 1 members, the audience below the stage did not care too much. It was only when the members of the Martial Arts University Alliance went up the stage that there was another uproar. The captain of the Martial Arts University Alliance, Sun Mingyu, from Beijing Martial Arts University, early stage rank 2. Main member Chun Jiaxing, from Donglin Martial Arts University, early stage rank 2. Main member Bai Yin from Nanjing Martial Arts University, peak rank 1. Reserve member Wang Huijin, from Dongwu Martial Arts University, upper stage rank 1. Fong Ping heard a familiar name, Dongwu Martial Arts University's Wang Huijin. He also took another look at Bai Yin from Nanjing Martial Arts University. As for the 2 rank 2 martial artists from the Martial Arts University Alliance, Fong Ping did not pay much attention to them. He was not the only one. On CCMU's side, Han Su did not pay much attention to the 2 rank 2 martial artists either. There was a commotion below the stage. They did not expect the Martial Arts University Alliance to produce 2 rank 2 martial artists when the Big 2 and the 8 School Alliance did not have a single rank 2. On the second floor of the stadium, many grandmasters were sitting there. At this moment, someone suddenly laughed and said, there's not much point in playing these little tricks on the Martial Arts University Alliance. Someone said coldly, whether it's meaningful or not, we'll know when the time comes. They're attracting a lot of attention now. However, when the 2 rank 2 martial artists are casually pierced through by rank 1 martial artists, then you'll know what it means by the higher you're praised, the harder you fall. With regards to the Martial Arts University Alliance's intentions, everyone present was smart enough to guess it in an instant. They were attracting attention. The Martial Arts University Alliance was very strong, very impressive. Were 2 rank 2 martial artists impressive? CCMEU and the other schools did not have any, neither did the 8 School Alliance. Only the Martial Arts University Alliance had rank 2 martial artists. What did this mean? It meant that the Martial Arts University Alliance had many geniuses and resources. However, the people present were not stupid. Some even scoffed. 2 early-stage rank 2 martial artists. Would they really be invincible once they entered rank 2? On MCMEU and CCMU's side, any random member of the main team could easily pierce through the 2 rank 2 martial artists. When that happened, it would be truly embarrassing. The people from the Martial Arts University Alliance did not mind. They smiled faintly and said, we'll just wait and see. Then I'll wait and see. I really want to see how it feels when 2 rank 2 martial artists are pierced in the first round. The other powerhouses who were not from martial arts universities did not say anything. They looked like they were watching a good show. Chapter 154. Looking at the 40 young martial artists in front of you, I dare to say that in the next 10 to 20 years, there will be a group of them who will be all-powerful and active in all walks of life in China. Liu Huarong gave such an evaluation, and no one felt that it was inappropriate. Of all the elites in martial arts universities in a year, there would always be someone who stood out. This was inevitable. Next, let's welcome the 4 captains. Fong Ping, Han Su, Wei Bin, and Sun Mingyu walked out. Tomorrow will be the first round of the competition. There will be 2 rounds of competition on the same day. The winners group and the losers group were divided. Another important goal of today's opening ceremony is to draw lots to choose our opponents. Liu Huarong said loudly, now, let us invite the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Education, Minister Zhang Beihao, to host the drawing of lots. On one hand, letting a grandmaster host the competition showed how much importance everyone attached to it. On one hand, It was to show absolute fairness. No one could do anything under the nose of a grandmaster, not even another grandmaster. Moreover, all the martial arts universities were under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Education. The other martial arts universities would not have any objections if this grandmaster-level deputy minister was in charge. I hope it's not CCMAU. On the second floor, Tang Feng muttered. Even if he drew the Martial Arts University Alliance, Tang Feng was not too worried. MCMAU and CCMU were able to stand tall for so many years, firmly occupying the first and second positions. Of course, they had confidence. They were all the most outstanding geniuses. Even if normal martial arts universities were like them and provided resources freely, geniuses were still geniuses. You guys did not waste time, but did the geniuses of MCMAU and CCMAU waste time? They were already ahead of you in the first place, and within half a year, they would continue to be ahead of you, unless they were geniuses that had yet to be discovered. The Martial Arts University Alliance had produced 2 rank 2 martial artists. How long would it take for them to cultivate to rank 2? He had the time to practice combat techniques? You have time to carry out missions? There were so many geniuses in CCMAU and MCMAU. It was not that no one could achieve rank 2. There were plenty of them, but how many of them would choose to break through now? In Tang Feng's opinion, the Martial Arts University Alliance sending out 2 rank 2 martial artists was a sign of a lack of confidence. He was worried that Fong Ping would pick CCMAU. Tang Feng was not the only one praying. Some of the teachers from other schools were also praying. What kind of opponent he faced in the first round would have a huge impact on the rest of the competition. In a battle between the strong, the most likely outcome would be that both sides would be heavily injured, which would benefit the people behind them. On the stage, Zhang Beihao raised a transparent box and said with a smile, "There are 4 small balls inside, and each ball has a name. Choose one yourself." Fong Ping exhaled and stepped forward to choose one. The other 3 didn't hesitate, and each chose one. The arena instantly quieted down. Everyone was looking forward to the outcome of the first round. Below the stage, Fong Yuan snapped out of her daze and prayed softly, "Please don't be the Martial Arts University Alliance. Please don't be the Martial Arts University Alliance." To many, the Martial Arts University Alliance was too dangerous. 2 rank 2 martial artists. On the other hand, the other 3 parties were all rank 1 martial artists. The gap between them was huge. Hence, whoever went up against the Martial Arts University Alliance first would have a higher chance of losing. The Martial Arts University Alliance ranked first, CCMAU second, MCMAU third, and the 8th School Alliance fourth. This was the ranking in everyone's minds. However, Fong Yuan did not know that Fong Ping was currently muttering, "Martial Arts University Alliance, Martial Arts University Alliance." Standing next to him, Sun Mingyu's face was frighteningly dark. What does that mean? Looking down on them? On the other side, Han Su suddenly smiled and said, "Sorry, the Martial Arts University Alliance belongs to us. You guys fight against the 8th School Alliance." F***CK. Fong Ping cursed, feeling a little unhappy. He curled his lips and said, "Consider yourselves lucky. There's no need to argue about this. We'll fight sooner or later." That's true. The 2 of them talked as if there was no one else around. Beside them, Wei Bin grinned and said, "Both of you, aren't you a little too confident?" Sun Mingyu was even more furious. Fong Ping's "consider yourselves lucky" meant that it would be easy for CCMAU to go up against them. On the other hand, he was actually saying that he had given CCMAU the chance to be in the limelight. Of course, in their eyes, it was not unusual for a rank 1 to defeat a rank 2. However, in the eyes of outsiders, it was a cross-rank challenge. It was too awesome. Fong Ping did not look at Sun Mingyu. Instead, he glanced at Wei Bin and smiled faintly. "We have to be confident. Our leading instructor said that we have to fight our first battle beautifully. If we win, it'll be easy, and we can give out credits freely. If we lose, then we're done for." His voice was not soft. The audience in front might not have heard it, but the powerhouses on the second floor definitely heard it. Huang Jing glanced at Tang Feng, and the corner of Tang Feng's mouth twitched. "Damn it. When did I say that the credits could be freely given out?" This kid, Fong Ping, was spreading rumors in front of so many people. Wei Bin didn't get angry. He smiled and said, "That's what our mentor thinks too." The few of them chatted for a while before Zhang Beihao opened his mouth. His voice was so loud that it could be heard throughout the stadium. In the first round, Capital City Martial Arts University versus Martial Arts University Alliance. Magic City Martial Arts University versus 8 School Alliance. Tomorrow, January 11th, 8 o'clock in the morning, Capital City Martial Arts University and Martial Arts University Alliance will begin the opening battle. It didn't matter whether it was in the morning or in the afternoon. The reason why they let CCMAU and the Martial Arts University Alliance fight the first match was to attract attention. One was the strongest martial arts university, the other was the 89 School Alliance with 2 rank 2 martial artists. The battle between the two sides could instantly ignite the crowd. Sure enough, when they heard that it was going to be a battle between these two in the morning, the audience below the stage was looking forward to it. From the introduction of the players, to the introduction of the 40 players, to the drawing of lots, it took a total of nearly 2 hours. In the end, Zhang Beihao did not step down from the stage. Instead, he gave a closing speech, and the opening ceremony came to an end. Fang Ping and the others had not yet stepped down from the stage, but the news had already spread on the internet. Tomorrow's first battle, CCMU versus 89 School Alliance. MCMU versus 8 School Alliance. 89 School Alliance has 2 rank 2 martial artists. The other school's main forces are all peak rank 1. CCMU's captain, Han Su, lives up to his name as the national champion and continues to lead Capital City Martial Arts University. MCMU's captain, Fang Ping, is the only one in the MCMU team who is an aspiring martial artist in the Gaokao. The only 2 rank 2 martial artists, Sun Mingyu and Chen Jiaxing, amazed the audience. The opening of the National Martial Arts University Championship welcomes 12 Grandmaster powerhouses. The internet was in an uproar. Countless people were looking forward to the battle between CCMEU and Martial Arts University Alliance the next day. There are also some reports about Fang Ping. This genius, who was amazing in the eyes of ordinary people, had the weakest Gaokao resume among the 40 members this time. Even those from the Martial Arts University Alliance had Gaokao results that were no worse than Fang Ping's. Most of the people like Sun Mingyu and Chen Jiaxing were martial artist candidates who had been retained by the local martial arts universities. The championship was proposed by the Martial Arts University Alliance. They had probably prepared for it long ago. They had paid a huge price before the Gaokao to retain many martial artist candidates. The outside world was in an uproar. When Fang Ping arrived backstage, his team members beamed with joy. Yang Xiaoman giggled. The 8 School Alliance's strength is average. Wei Bin's strength is unknown, but we still know Chen Hongwei and Zhang Guanglin. One from East Sino Nation Normal University, the other from South Sino University of Science and Technology. These 2 people's strength is at most similar to Tang Songding's. Hey, can't you always use me as an example? Tang Songding was a little unhappy. How did I become the benchmark to measure everyone's strength? As they were talking, Tang Feng walked over and said in a low voice, "Don't be careless." As he said that, he looked at Fang Ping and said, "Fang Ping, you'll be the first to fight tomorrow." "Me?" Fang Ping said in surprise. "That. Won't people see through our trump card?" "You're quite confident. Do you really think that you're MCMAU's trump card?" Tang Feng laughed and said, "Don't look down on anyone. You have to win your first battle beautifully. If you're really capable, then you'll have 5 victories in your first battle. Let me see if you're qualified to take credits as you please." When Fang Ping heard this, he immediately knew that Tang Feng was being petty again. Tang Feng did not care what he thought. He continued, Fang Ping in the first position, Fu Chaning in the second position, Yang Xiaoman in the third position, Zhao Xuemei in the fourth position, and Zhao Lei in the rear. Zhao Lei wanted to say something, but he did not. He was worried that he would not get a chance to fight at all. Fang Ping sighed softly. "If I fight, the others won't even have a chance to showcase themselves. Instructor, this is a little unfair to them." Tang Feng's face darkened. "You kid, really have no limits to your confidence. Tang Feng could not be bothered with him. He turned and walked away, saying as he walked, "It's fine if you win, but if you lose, Feng Ping, you'll lose because of your carelessness. You can't bear this responsibility." His words were very heavy. If Feng Ping really lost because of his carelessness and caused MCMAU to lose the first battle, MCMU's losses would be calculated in the tens of billions. Feng Ping really could not bear this responsibility. Understood. All right, you guys go do your own things. Try not to leave the university if there's nothing important these few days. As soon as he finished speaking, Tang Feng had already left. As soon as he left, Fu Chanding said hurriedly, "Feng Ping, don't really wear them. At least leave 2 for me." "And me? Do you guys really think they're cabbages?" Feng Ping rolled his eyes. He thought for a while before saying, "Wei Bin's strength shouldn't be weak. If he's the rear, I'll leave them for you guys. Otherwise, I'll definitely have to reveal a little of my strength. It'll be bad if others find out about my strength. CCMAU is our opponent. I have to be careful of Han Su." "Feng Ping, you're so confident. I have to admire you." Zhao Xiaomei could not help but laugh. In Feng Ping's opinion, if he was willing to reveal a little of his strength, he could really kill the other party in one go. "Whatever you think, I'll try to leave you guys some soup." Feng Ping laughed. At that moment, the phone in his pocket vibrated. He glanced at the number and said hurriedly, "I have something to do. I'll leave first." "Go." A few minutes later, at the Western restaurant in front of MCMAU's main entrance, Feng Yuan looked at Feng Ping curiously. After a while, she said, "Brother, how did you become the captain?" Wu Zhihao was also confused. He quickly said, "That's right. Didn't you become a martial artist not long ago? How did you become a peak rank 1 and the captain of MCMAU?" "I've been a martial artist for 4 to 5 months. Is it strange that I'm a peak rank 1? Feng Ping chuckled. "No matter what, I'm a thrice-honed martial artist. It's not strange that I'm fast. MCMU has been rewarding a lot lately. With some resources, I naturally reach peak rank 1. Then why are you the captain?" "Nonsense. I'm the best, so of course I'm the captain." "All right, don't ask these useless questions." Feng Yuan suddenly thought of something and asked worriedly, "Brother, is it dangerous?" "It's fine. It's just a championship, not a life and death battle. Besides, I'm very strong. No one in this competition is a match for me. Don't worry." "Then I'll call Mom and Dad." "Don't. We'll talk about it after the competition. Mom and Dad don't go online anyway. Don't tell them now." Feng Yuan nodded in confusion. She did not think too much about it. In many people's eyes, there was indeed no danger in this martial arts competition. The students were just sparring and communicating. There was no danger at all. Since Feng Ping said not to tell them now, Feng Yuan did not go against his wishes. She would tell her parents later. Everyone still could not accept the fact that Feng Ping had become the most powerful MCMU freshman. They were a little absent-minded when they ate. Initially, when Feng Ping became a martial artist, everyone could say that it was because of MCMU's good environment and good treatment. However, not only did Feng Ping become a martial artist, but he also represented MCMAU in the championship. This could not be explained by just good treatment. There were so many people in MCMAU. There were so many martial artists. Why were they not the ones fighting? That day, Feng Ping did not accompany his sister and the others for a stroll. After lunch, Feng Ping returned to school early to prepare for the first battle the next day. 11th January. In the morning, MCMU Gymnasium. Feng Ping and the others arrived early. The contestants were also invited to the second floor as an exception, sitting together with the grandmasters. Spectators who had bought tickets began to enter the stadium one after another. The competition tickets this time were all sold one ticket. One ticket allowed one to watch from the beginning to the end. Martial arts universities did not expect to earn money from selling tickets. Allowing 5,000 spectators was already the limit. If they sold tickets according to the number of matches, it would be troublesome and could easily cause chaos. First floor. Lu Huarong and the others hosting platform was also far away from the central arena. Instead, it was moved to a corner. They could see the situation in the central arena clearly without disturbing the other side. Fong Ping saw Fong Yuan and the others on the second floor. The little girl looked around, but did not see Fong Ping. She was a little disappointed. CCMU's team and the Martial Arts University Alliance's team were not here. Instead, they were backstage on the first floor. On the other side of Fong Ping and the other sat Wei Bin and the others. The second floor was bustling with noise even before the fight started below the stage. Fong Ping thought that the Grandmasters were all enigmatic and taciturn. Soon, however, Fong Ping realized that he was wrong. CCMU versus the Martial Arts University Alliance. There's going to be a good show. I wonder if CCMU will let Han Su fight. If he's defeated in one go, then Old Wei and the rest should stop complaining about unfairness in the future. The one who spoke was none other than MCMAU's Huang Jing. As soon as he finished speaking, someone from the Martial Arts University Alliance retorted, "You should worry about yourselves. MCMAU has the title of second place, but it lacks the strength to do so. For so many years, it's been relying on its foundation. Last time, Nanjiang Martial Arts University's Wang Jinyang defeated rank 1. I don't know whose face it is." Cough, cough. Some of the martial arts university leaders in Magic City coughed softly. These words were too much of a blow. Last time, it was not just MCMEU that was defeated. However, MCMEU was the strongest, and the most embarrassing one was still MCMAU. It was not embarrassing for them to pretend that they did not hear it. Huang Jing smiled faintly. Don't always treat a special case as the norm. You talk about Wang Jinyang every time you open your mouth. Don't you know what's going on with that kid? Moreover, it's not like there's no one in MCMAU who can't beat him. It's just unnecessary. Losing means it's unnecessary, and winning means it's only natural. At this time, someone from CCMAU suddenly said, MCMAU is MCMAU, CCMAU is CCMAU. Wang Jinyang didn't gain any advantage in CCMAU. When he heard that Zhang Su was back, that kid ran away immediately. He's smart. Since when did CCMU learn to shoot off their mouths? CCMAU shouldn't use the past to talk about things. These years, MCMAU has been working hard to improve. Whether it's a mule or a horse, you'll know once you pull it out for a walk. These grandmasters did not appear to be on anyone's side. Instead, they fought for themselves, each representing their own forces. Often, one sentence was "you two against me," and the next sentence was "we two against you." Fong Ping and the other small fries listened with great interest, almost forgetting about the upcoming battle. Fortunately, the referee whistled, interrupting everyone's conversation. Below the stage, the battle had officially begun. On the big screen, the battle order submitted by both sides was displayed. CCMEU, Han Su, Li Ran, Zhang Jingguang, Martial Arts University Alliance, Sun Mingyu Baiyin, Chun Jiaxing. Both sides had sent out their captains in the first round. Obviously, everyone wanted to play it safe in the first round. At the moment, everyone still did not understand their opponent's situation. If they lost the first battle, it would easily affect their morale. Naturally, it was best to send out the strongest. The Martial Arts University Alliance's captain would fight in the first round. Chun Jiaxing, a rank 2, would hold the line. It was probably to prevent the other side from defeating all 5 of them in one go and embarrassing themselves. Chapter 155. In the arena, Han Su was the first to step out. Han Su was holding a long spear in his hand. Fong Ping subconsciously looked at Fu Chanding. Tang Songting snickered softly. Someone is a fan of Han Su. He's been oppressed for 3 years. Shut up. Fu Chanding's expression did not look too good. He scoffed and said, too many people use guns, but there are only a few weapons. Fong Ping and the others looked at each other, but did not say anything to discourage him. Perhaps it was as Tang Songting had said, Fu Chanding had been suppressed for too long, so he was subconsciously imitating Tang Songting. Soon, Sun Mingyu also went on stage. Fong Ping was a little surprised that Sun Mingyu was using a long-handled axe. He had thought about using this as well. It was similar to the one Old Chung had on TV. But later, Old Manly recommended using a saber, and he did not insist. He didn't expect Sun Mingyu to use a long-handled axe. In the arena, Hansu was meticulous and very serious. He bowed and said, "Capital City Martial Arts University, Hansu. Martial Arts University Alliance, Sun Mingyu." At this moment, there was a referee present. Fong Ping knew the referee. He was an instructor from MCMAU who had the strength of a rank 5. The audience below the stage also focused and watched the match. "Begin!" The referee did not waste any time. After the two of them bowed to each other, he shouted, "Begin!" Both of them moved at the same time. Sun Mingyu's arms instantly thickened, and his long-handled axe chopped down like lightning. Hansu's response was not to draw his spear, but to leap into the air. With this leap, Hansu jumped 2 to 3 meters high. Fong Ping and the others could almost look at Hansu at the same level. Hansu, who had leaped into the air, took a few steps in the air and leaped over Sun Mingyu's long axe. Only then did he thrust his spear downwards at lightning speed. Insignificant skill, Sun Mingyu roared. The long axe that was about to chop down was suddenly pulled back by him. Before the crowd's gazes could move away from Hansu in the air, they saw the large Sun Mingyu's nimble body twist his waist to avoid the spear tip. In the next moment, Sun Mingyu pulled back his long axe and hacked at the falling Hansu. Hansu didn't panic. He changed the direction of his spear and instantly hit the edge of the axe, borrowing the force to continue leaping forward. With this leap, Hansu suddenly fell behind Sun Mingyu instead of facing him head-on. Sun Mingyu quickly turned around, and his long axe changed from a slash to a sweep, sweeping behind him. "Be careful!" At this moment, someone couldn't help but shout. Before Sun Mingyu realized what had happened, Hansu, who had been behind him just now, moved his feet like a ghost and moved in front of him again. As for Sun Mingyu, he was in the middle of turning and sweeping. The inertia of the long axe caused him to turn in the direction of the axe's slash. Before the ordinary people could come back to their senses, Hansu, who had not moved his spear since the first thrust, stabbed his spear from the side like a thunderbolt. Pooh! The long spear left an afterimage in the air and instantly pierced into Sun Mingyu's waist. Poochie, after thrusting his spear forward, Hansu immediately withdrew his long spear, and a large amount of scarlet blood immediately splashed out from Sun Mingyu's waist. So fast. On the stage, Fong Ping and the others quickly stood up and squeezed to the railing. No one stopped him. Fong Ping's expression was slightly solemn. Hansu was too fast. When he landed behind Sun Mingyu turned around and slashed at him. It all happened in an instant, but at this moment, Hansu had already moved to Sun Mingyu's side and quickly stabbed him with his spear. By the time Hansu pulled out his spear, Sun Mingyu had already turned around and slashed. So fast. This was said by Lu Huarong. Lu Huarong's tone was rapid as he said, "Hansu's stepping technique has achieved full mastery. At the beginning, it was just a feint, not an attack at all." Sun Mingyu's waist is heavily injured. Before he could finish his sentence, Sun Mingyu, who had already suffered heavy injuries, actually had no intention of giving up. Just as Hansu pulled out his spear, a hand suddenly appeared on the tip of the spear. Although Sun Mingyu's speed was not as fast as Hansu's, the sharp pain of the spear piercing his waist allowed him to react. His first reaction was not to admit defeat, nor was he to retreat. Instead, he used his left hand to defend and grabbed the spear tip. Blood instantly gushed out from his hand. However, Sun Mingyu did not seem to care. He firmly grabbed the spear tip, and the long axe that had already made a half-circle followed his hand and slashed at Hansu again. Hansu had obviously underestimated Sun Mingyu. His expression changed instantly. The long spear in his hand trembled, and with a poochie, the spear tip pierced through Sun Mingyu's palm. However, Sun Mingyu did not seem to feel any pain. He gripped the spear tip tightly, a hint of madness in his eyes. The long axe was already slashing at Hansu's waist, wanting to cut Hansu in half. The referee at the side was already ready to fight. These two people went on stage to fight to the death. Han Su's advantage was his speed, but his strength felt slightly weaker than Sun Mingyu's. On the other hand, Sun Mingyu did not care about his injuries, nor did he waver because of them. Very soon, the tables were turned. He wanted to cut Han Su in half. Han Su's expression changed slightly, but there was no fear. At this moment, when everyone thought he was going to dodge, Han Su suddenly twisted the long spear. In the midst of everyone's dazzled eyes, Han Su actually pulled out a long sword from the spear shaft. A sword hidden in the spear, Lu Huarong said hurriedly. He also took the time to interrupt. In reality, before he finished speaking, Han Su's sword slashed horizontally at Sun Mingyu's left hand that was holding the spear. Poochie! Everyone heard the sound of metal scraping. Immediately after, the next scene made many of the audience scream. Han Su's sword had cut off Sun Mingyu's left hand. Sun Mingyu also let out a scream, but he no longer cared. With a bang, the long axe slashed at Han Su, who had hastily returned to defend. Pooh! Although Han Su pulled his sword back to defend, he was still hit. Suddenly, he took a few steps back, blood spilling from his mouth. Sun Mingyu was like a mad demon. He no longer cared about his severed left hand, his right hand gripping the long axe tightly. He raised it again and slashed horizontally. Han Su's face was pale. Anger flashed in his eyes. He did not even pick up the long spear. With a quick step, his figure flashed, and the tip of his sword stabbed at Sun Mingyu's throat. Surrender! On the second floor, a martial arts university alliance powerhouse roared. The referee at the side moved instantly. He clamped the tip of Han Su's sword with one hand and shouted, "CCMU wins." Although it took a long time to describe, in reality, at this moment, it was only less than 20 seconds. In 20 seconds, the rank 2 martial artist Sun Mingyu's waist was severely injured, and his left hand was broken. Han Su took the opponent's axe head-on and also suffered internal injuries. Blood kept seeping from his mouth. If it were not for the referee, Sun Mingyu would have died. Very soon, someone went on stage and helped Sun Mingyu off the stage. Someone picked up the severed hand and hurried away. A doctor kept spraying healing mist on Sun Mingyu's wound. On the second floor, the Martial Arts University Alliance powerhouses looked gloomy. The leaders of CCMU did not look too good either. The first battle was not a good one. Sun Mingyu could almost say goodbye to this championship. But Han Su exposed his sword in the spear and was injured. Off stage, the audience finally came back to their senses and suddenly became noisy. This is so cruel. That person just now, his hand was cut off. They're all students. How could they do this? How could they? Mingyu. Someone cried, hurriedly got up and ran backstage. Silence. On the second floor, a Grandmaster powerhouse roared. The battle continues. You can leave the stage, but no noise. The referee also shouted, Han Su, continue? Continue. Han Su's face was gloomy. He took a healing pill and had no intention of stopping. Very soon, the second martial artist from the Martial Arts University Alliance went on stage. Martial Arts University Alliance, Bai Yin. I know you. Nanjiang Martial Arts University's genius martial artist. Han Su did not know if he was really interested in him or if he was just stalling for time. However, before he finished speaking, Bai Yin had already struck with his saber. This saber strike was just as fast. On the stage, Fong Ping exclaimed, "Manic explosion." Yes, Bai Yin was also using manic explosion. Moreover, this saber strike was slightly faster than Fong Ping's. Of course, the vitality outburst was not as good. Probably around 25 calories, Han Su's figure was like a ghost, disappearing under the saber's blade in an instant. Ghost steps, mid-level footwork. I thought Han Su was a straight shot, but I didn't expect him to walk the path of an assassin. Lu Huarong explained hurriedly. Yes, an assassin. Han Su was like an assassin, not a spear master like everyone had imagined. Bai Yin had seen his footwork earlier, so naturally, he knew that Han Su could easily avoid it. Just as Han Su closed in on him, Bai Yin suddenly pulled back his saber. He did not retract the vitality outburst earlier. Instead, he unleashed an even stronger vitality outburst. The saber slashed through the air, creating a clear whistling sound. Clang! A crisp sound rang out. No one knew when, but Han Su's sword was already stabbing toward Bai Yin's heart. As for Bai Yin, he had pulled out his saber and hit the sword just now. It was obvious that he had predicted it. Han Su's expression darkened again. He pulled out his sword abruptly, and his figure disappeared from the spot once more. Bai Yin stood where he was without moving. Suddenly, Bai Yin slashed to the left. Clang! Bai Yin slashed, and Han Su disappeared from his previous position once more. Motherf asterisk Kerr, it's very troublesome to meet an opponent like this. Tang Songting cursed, then looked at Fu Changding and said, Your idol doesn't use a spear. Shut up. Fu Changding was not in a good mood. He stared at the audience and said, If Bai Yin goes on like this, his vitality will be depleted. Han Su is about the same. He was injured when he fought with Sun Mingyu just now. Everyone did not discuss Sun Mingyu's broken palm. This was good enough. If it were not for the open competition, no one would have stopped Han Su from stabbing him to death. Just as everyone finished talking, Bai Yin suddenly staggered. Someone had stabbed him in the back. The wound was not deep, but Bai Yin's spine cracked, and the long sword was stuck for a moment. Han Su clearly did not expect this to happen again. He hurriedly pulled out his sword and tried to run. However, Bai Yin did not know if it was a trap or if his battle instincts were really strong. The moment he clamped the tip of the sword, his left leg kicked backward at an unbelievable angle. It was a kick. Bai Yin could not use his saber at that moment. He turned around to slash, but this kick came at the right time. It landed on Han Su's calf. With his calf injured, Han Su's movements slowed down. This delay gave Bai Yin an opportunity. The Martial Arts University Alliance's contestants all have strong willpower. Behind them, Lu Huarong sighed and said with some admiration, whether it's Sun Mingyu or Bai Yin, if they met Han Su in the wild, they would definitely die. However, Sun Mingyu ignored his injuries and struck Han Su with his axe, injuring him quite badly. Bai Yin deliberately lured Han Su to attack his back, but he took the opportunity to injure Han Su's leg. Now Bai Yin has gone from a defensive battle to a tug-of-war. It's a matter of who can hold on first. Han Su previously fought with Sun Mingyu and was injured quite badly. He might not be able to outlast Bai Yin, Chen Shuyan added. Lu Huarong immediately denied it. Not necessarily. Bai Yin has slashed 8 times since the beginning, and each slash was at full strength. He has consumed more than 200 calories of vitality. He's already an arrow at the end of its flight. Han Su's situation isn't that bad either, right? Han Su's vitality is stronger than his, and his footwork consumption is slightly lower. Then who do you think will last until the end? Han Su, but even if he wins, he won't have the strength to participate in the 3rd round. It had to be said that Lu Huarong had good judgment. After another 20 to 30 seconds, Bai Yin slashed his last time and shouted, I surrender. As soon as he said that, he could not stand still. He staggered and almost fell. Han Su also stopped moving with a pale face. He snorted softly and did not say anything. A few of Bai Yin's slashes had grazed him. At this moment, Han Su was no longer as calm as before. His clothes had many tears, and his exposed skin was also covered in many bloody marks. The referee did not give him time and asked immediately, Han Su, do you want to continue? No need. Han Su did not choose to continue. He picked up the long spear on the ground and walked straight down the stage. In the first 2 rounds, all 3 of them were injured. Sun Mingyu's injuries were the heaviest, but Han Su did not have it easy either. In fact, his injuries were even more serious than Bai Yin's. Bai Yin's only serious injury from the sword on his back. Below the stage, among the crowd, Wu Jihao's face was pale. Is this the championship? It had only been 2 rounds, but everyone could feel the danger and coldness. Han Su cut off Sun Mingyu's palm without hesitation. Bai Yin used his body as bait and turned around to slash at Han Su. He did not hold back either. If Han Su had not reacted quickly, he would have been cut in half. For the 3rd round, Capital City Martial Arts University sent out Li Ran. She was a girl, but she was the one who had defeated Fu Chanding. She was also a swordsman powerhouse. On the Martial Arts University Alliance's side, their martial artist was slightly weaker. He was pinned to the stage by Li Ran's sword. His opponent screamed in pain and was quickly carried off the stage. At this time, Fong Yuan, who was in the front row, was about to cry. She looked around for Fong Ping. That big liar, lying to her that there was no danger. Because Fong Ping had given her a ticket, she sat in the front row to watch the battles. She had seen everything clearly from the beginning to the end. When Sun Mingyu's palm was cut off in the first round, she had even seen the falling palm move. Beside her, Xiaoling was so scared that she closed her eyes, not daring to watch. Fong Yuan did not dare to watch either, but she could not find Fong Ping, which made her even more anxious. Fong Ping was so focused on watching the battles that he had forgotten about his sister. In the fourth round, Li Ran was up against a burly martial artist from the Martial Arts University Alliance. Fong Ping did not remember his name. Now he remembered it. The second member of Beijing Martial Arts University's main team, Sun Mingyu's schoolmate, Liang Weiyao. Perhaps it was to avenge Sun Mingyu, but Liang Weiyao's fighting style was extremely brutal. He did not use a weapon. Instead, he wore a pair of gloves. The moment Li Ran drew her sword, Liang Weiyao grabbed it. Li Ran did not have time to let go of her sword. Liang Weiyao punched her in the chest and sent her flying more than 10 meters away. Her body was covered in blood, and blood kept flowing from her mouth. It almost looked like she had been punched to death. The crowd became rowdy again. She's a girl. Don't be a girl. Didn't this girl just pierce through someone's foot with her sword? But now, isn't this a spar? How did they end up like this? Some people found it hard to accept. It was too cruel. At this moment, almost all of the 6 people on stage were injured. Furthermore, their injuries were not light. Li Ran and Sun Mingyu were both seriously injured. CCMEU had 3 people left, and the Martial Arts University Alliance had 2 people left. The last one was the rank 2 Qinjiashing. At this moment, Lu Huarong could not care less about those discussions. Instead, he asked curiously, on CCMU's side, Han Su and Li Ran have left one after another. Although they have one more person than the Martial Arts University Alliance, the Martial Arts University Alliance still has a rank 2 martial artist. Who will win and who will lose? Now we have something to look forward to. Will CCMU Zhang Jingguang defeat Liang Weiyao first, and the 3 of them will take turns to fight Qinjiashing, or will Liang Weiyao and Qinjiashing clear the Martial Arts University Alliance's name? Zhang Jingguang is from the Zhang family. He doesn't walk the path of toughness, but the path of softness, using softness to overcome hardness? Chen Shuyan added. Today's first battle is full of surprises. Sun Mingyu was defeated too quickly, and Han Su also left the stage too quickly. Why do I feel that these new students are fighting more fiercely than me? I'm old, really old. Martial artists should be like this. If they don't even have the courage to fight, they don't deserve to be martial artists. Chen Shuyan said coldly. The audience's expressions were incomparably complicated. Was this what a martial artist should be like? Their imaginations of wielding the power of the world when they were awake and lying on the knees of beautiful women when they were drunk were just fantasies? In the midst of everyone's complicated feelings, CCMEU's 3rd martial artist went up to the stage. This battle was not as fast or as brutal as the previous ones. Zhang Jingguang focused on avoiding. When he fought with Liang Weiyao, he also retreated as soon as he made contact. Everyone was not used to this. Compared to the previous few battles, the difference was too big. However, in the end, when Liang Weiyao's vitality was insufficient, everyone realized that they had been thinking too much. Zhang Jingguang, who had been slow all along, suddenly grabbed Liang Weiyao's right hand and then forcefully broke his right hand. The sound of the fracture could be heard clearly by the people in the front row. The Martial Arts University Alliance had 4 battles and 4 injuries, and all of them were seriously injured. The 2 grandmasters on the 2nd floor of the Martial Arts University Alliance had already turned so gloomy that their faces were bleeding. Fong Ping and the others also fell silent. Huang Jing walked over at some point and said lightly, "In the afternoon, Fight as if it's a life or death battle. If you don't kill them, they'll kill you. I know, Fong Ping replied in a muffled voice. Before this, he had still harbored some fantasies. However, after seeing the bloody scene now, he would be courting death if he still thought of defeating instead of killing them. At this moment, Lu Fengru's words rang in Fong Ping's mind. There's no sparring. Once you're on the stage, it's a life or death battle. Chapter 156. In the midst of everyone's complicated emotions, the last member of the Martial Arts University Alliance went on stage. Chun Jiaxing, rank 2 martial artist, Donglin Martial Arts University's freshman. Second floor. Zhao Xuemei's expression was slightly complicated. He's Donglin Province's Gaokao champion. Fong Ping remembered that Zhao Xuemei ranked 3rd in Donglin Province's Gaokao. You know him? I met him once. Donglin Martial Arts University once invited us martial artist candidates, hoping that we could stay in Donglin Province. At that time, I was thinking about the big two, so I didn't agree. At that time, I met Qin Jiaxing. He hoped that we could stay. He said that he hoped that Donglin people could contribute and bleed for Donglin. At that time, I didn't understand. Now, I kind of understand. He might have known about the catacombs beforehand. There's an entrance to the catacombs in Donglin. Fong Ping did not respond. If what Zhao Xuemei said was true, then Qin Jiaxing staying at Donglin Martial Arts University was not just because of the benefits. On the stage, Qin Jiaxing's expression was normal as he stepped onto the stage. Qin Jiaxing held a machete in his hand. Before Fong Ping could look closely, he heard someone whisper, "Wu Go. Wu Go." Someone repeated, then suddenly said, "Donglin's Chun family?" It's the Chun family. Grandmaster Chun died in battle in 1996, 12 years ago. 13 years ago now. Before he died, the Chun family was left with only one heir. Someone could not help but look at the 2 grandmasters from the Martial Arts University Alliance and asked in a low voice, "He's the only heir of the Chun family." One of the grandmasters from the Martial Arts University Alliance said solemnly, "That's right. He's the only heir of the Chun family." Why don't men carry Wu Go and conquer 50 states, the Chun family? Someone murmured softly with a complicated expression. The Chun family's Wu Go was the name of Chun Jiaxing's grandfather. No, not only the Chun family's grandmaster. The Chun clan had been using the Wu Go for many generations, so they were a family worthy of respect. In the 1996 Donglin Catacombs riot, the Chun family of 18 people, except for the young Qin Jiaxing, led the family to the catacombs entrance and fought to the death. In that battle, 17 people from the Chun family perished. In the years that the catacombs had existed, how many inspiring and tragic martial artists had appeared in the shadows? How many of them had sacrificed their lives for the sake of fame and fortune? However, like the Qin family, it was extremely rare for all of them to die in battle, from grandmasters to rank 1. When Fong Ping heard this, his gaze turned complicated. The catacombs, he had never been to the catacombs. He had only heard of them. He did not experience them personally, so he did not know what kind of trauma the catacombs would cause to humans. However, when he found out that Chun Jiaxing's entire family, other than him, had died in the catacombs, Fong Ping's feelings were indescribably complicated. Was this what it meant to be a martial artist? Was today's battle not for personal gain, not for reputation, but to fight for more cultivation resources, to make catacombs entrances like Donglin safer? Perhaps this was Qin Jiaxing's idea? Fong Ping did not know if he had guessed wrong, but he would rather think so. The martial artists of the Martial Arts University Alliance fought to the death without retreating. Perhaps they also knew the sorrow of being weak, so they fought to the death. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. As the crowd discussed in low voices, one of the CCMU powerhouses said indifferently, "The Qin family is worthy of respect, but since CCMU was founded, 14 grandmasters have died in battle. We dare to fight, can fight, and never avoid a fight. This is CCMAU. We didn't squander those resources, and we didn't let anyone down. This battle has nothing to do with right or wrong." The grandmasters of the Martial Arts University Alliance also smiled faintly. "Indeed, so we never use our family background to win anything. Chun Jiaxing could enter the main team because of his strength, not because of the Chun family. The Grandmaster's words made Fong Ping and the other young people feel something again. Fong Ping did not know if it was sorrow or admiration. The others upstairs were silent at this moment. Over the years, how many Grandmasters had died in battle? Martial Arts University Alliance, Chun Jiaxing. Capital City Martial Arts University, Zhang Jingguang. Zhang Jingguang, who had just broken Liang Weiyao's arm, looked solemn. This was the second-rank 2 martial artist to participate in this battle. Although the first-rank 2 martial artist, Sun Mingyu, had been defeated by the rank 1 martial artist, Han Su, Sun Mingyu had also displayed the strength of a rank 2 martial artist. If he had not risked his life to injure Han Su would not have been able to leave the arena with Bai Yin so easily. Both of them saluted. As soon as they were done, Chun Jiaxing moved like thunder. The wugo suddenly split into 2 dual blades. Chun Jiaxing had no intention of hiding it. The Chun family's wugo was a dual blade style, only fighting and no defense. The 2 wugo drew streaks of light in the air. Zhang Jingguang did not choose to fight this time. He did not use weapons, but he was not afraid at this moment. Chun Jiaxing rushed toward him, and Zhang Jingguang's feet landed heavily on the ground. In the next moment, Zhang Jingguang's trouser legs burst open. He pushed off the ground and rushed straight toward the wugo's range. Zhang Jingguang's hands were fast. He found the gap between the dual blades in an instant. Both his hands reached into the gap and grabbed Chun Jiaxing's right hand. Combat skills, Lu Huarong said in a low voice, and then quickly explained, this is a combat skill that evolved from military tactics. Looks like Zhang Jingguang does not only know how to use softness to overcome hardness. When it was time to be fierce, Zhang Jingguang was extremely fierce. He was not Han Su, but he could not outlast the rank 2 Chun Jiaxing. He might not be able to consume much of his opponent's vitality. If that was the case, he might as well fight fiercely. Even if he lost, Chun Jiaxing would not feel good. Before Lu Huarong finished speaking, the wugo in Chun Jiaxing's hand spun and slashed toward Zhang Jingguang's hands. Zhang Jingguang's arm twisted and grabbed his right hand. With a roar, he threw him over his shoulder. Chun Jiaxing did not move. He let out a long roar and stomped his right foot on the ground. The arena seemed to tremble. Very strong. Fong Ping was slightly serious. Chun Jiaxing honed his upper limbs at rank 1, but his lower body was as still as a mountain. It was not because his lower limbs had been honed, but because his pole standing was strong. The peak of the firm stance. This was Fong Ping's judgment. Maybe it could also be the elevated stance. Zhang Jingguang had obviously judged that Chun Jiaxing's lower limbs were not honed much, which was why he chose close combat. This time, however, his judgment was wrong, and he was in danger. Chun Jiaxing was not thrown out, but Zhang Jinhua would have to pay the price. The wugo spun so fast that Zhang Jingguang could not throw his opponent away. In the next moment, the wugo drew streaks of blood on Zhang Jingguang's arm. His sleeve was instantly cut into pieces stained red and fell to the ground. After that, Zhang Jingguang suddenly realized that he was no match for his opponent in a head-on fight. He immediately began to retreat and chose to fight. Next, Chun Jiaxing's actions attracted Fong Ping and the others' attention again. Chun Jiaxing, who was wielding dual sabers, actually began to throw them. One saber was thrown out, and the other was close. The wugo that was thrown out spun in the air. As Chun Jiaxing closed in, it began to attack Zhang Jingguang's back. Is this F*King being used as a boomerang? I think it's a flying guillotine. It's impossible to guard against. Is this the correct way to use dual sabers? The key is that he has strong control and uses his strength just right. Otherwise, it would not be so easy. The participating martial artists on the second floor were discussing in low voices. From the looks of it, Zhang Jingguang was bound to lose. It all depended on how much vitality he could consume from Chun Jiaxing. CCMU still had 3 people left. Even if Zhang Jingguang lost, there were still 2 people behind him. Everyone's strength was not weak. It would not be that easy for Chun Jiaxing to defeat all 3 of them. The result was as expected. In less than 3 minutes, Zhang Jingguang was pincered from the front and back. He could not keep up with the rhythm for a while, and his left arm was hooked by Chun Jiaxing's wugo, tearing a flesh wound. He had to leave the stage for treatment. The 7th battle. At this time, everyone realized that CCMU's tactics had changed. Drag. CCMU's 4th martial artist on the stage had honed his lower limbs. His pole standing was also at the firm stance, and he had cultivated his footwork. The opponent did not confront Chun Jiaxing head-on, nor did he come into close contact. He just circled around the stage. Many people below the stage had the urge to curse. The previous 6 battles were all hot-blooded. Even Zhang Jingguang, who fought weakly at the beginning, was also hot-blooded in the later stages. However, CCMU's 4th person had almost never come into contact with Chun Jiaxing. At this moment, it was a matter of who could take it first. Either their vitality was depleted, or they made a mistake and were caught by the opponent. CCMU's people ran in circles. Chun Jiaxing could not be indifferent. He also kept spinning in the field, keeping an eye on his opponent to prevent a surprise attack. Both of them tangled for more than 10 minutes. This was also the longest battle in this competition. Until many people were yawning, Chun Jiaxing suddenly erupted. At the cost of taking a punch from his opponent, he knocked his opponent out of the stage. Is he going to counterattack? Fu Changding clicked his tongue and said, CCMU is left with one last person. Although Chun Jiaxing's vitality has been depleted, it's not that he can't fight. Han Su, Li Ran, and the others have already left the stage. Now CCMU is in trouble. Fong Ping frowned slightly. He stared at the last person from CCMU and said, if you were CCMU, would there be no one for the finale? The Martial Arts University Alliance chose Sun Mingyu for the first battle and Chun Jiaxing for the finale. MCMAU chose Fong Ping for the first battle and Zhao Lei for the finale. The last person's strength would not be weak. Otherwise, it would be easy to be defeated. Was CCMU's last person really the weakest? CCMU's last person, Fong Wenxiang. Fong Ping remembered Lu Huarong's simple introduction to Fong Wenxiang. It was not too eye-catching. Donghu Province's 7th place in the college entrance examination. Donglin, Donghu, and Dongwu provinces were all in the east of Sino Nation. They were also considered economically developed areas. To be able to get 7th place in such a province was at least equivalent to being in the top 3 in Nanjiang. However, there were a lot of provincial champions participating this time. A 7th place did not attract much attention. Fong Wenxiang did not use a long weapon either. Instead, he wore a pair of boxing gloves that covered both his arms. Fong Ping was a little envious. It could cover both arms. This could already be considered a defensive armor-type weapon. MCMU actually did not lend him a full-body helmet. In Fong Ping's jealousy and envy, Fong Wenxiang quickly fought with Chun Jiaxing. Chun Jiaxing's boomerang saber was a threat to others, but Fong Wenxiang did not care. Whether it was a frontal attack or a back attack, Fong Wenxiang could quickly swing his arms to block. The wugo chopped sparks on the arm guard, but it could not do anything to Fong Wenxiang. Chun Jiaxing had already fought 2 people in a row. His vitality was insufficient. Before he could change his tactics, Fong Wenxiang suddenly roared. Everyone saw that his fists were like the claws of a dragon, swift and fierce like a tiger. Both fists slammed into Chun Jiaxing's wugo with a bang. Chun Jiaxing was obviously not a match for it. He retreated continuously. However, Fong Wenxiang's speed was also extremely fast. He did not care about the wugo's attack and directly hammered at close range. Donghu Fong family's heaven-shaking fist. Lu Huarong recognized Fong Wenxiang's move. Then he exclaimed, the vitality outburst of both fists is close to 50 calories. This is the person with the deepest combat techniques progress so far. Fong Wenxiang's fist force exploded. His vitality was as high as about 50 calories. Chun Jiaxing was beaten until he retreated continuously. His face became paler and paler. When he was hammered 4 times in a row, Chun Jiaxing suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and knelt on the ground. Seeing Fong Wenxiang's last punch smashing toward his head, Chun Jiaxing gritted his teeth and did not shout out the words of surrender. Upstairs, a grandmaster finally sighed and said, "Surrender." The referee moved instantly and blocked Fong Wenxiang's fist with one hand. CCMU wins. The referee announced the result loudly. Chun Jiaxing was still kneeling on the ground, blood dripping from his mouth. His face was full of sorrow. In the first battle, the Martial Arts University Alliance suffered a crushing defeat. Although they had fought until the last person, the 5 main team members were all seriously injured. Even he had suffered serious internal injuries at this moment. The Martial Arts University Alliance's members were not weak. However, when they encountered CCMAU, the opponent was stronger. Everyone in the Martial Arts University Alliance was injured. The Martial Arts University Alliance has lost. The only main team members who can still fight tomorrow are Chun Jiaxing and Bai Yin. Zhao Xuemei sighed softly. Out of the 5 main team members, 3 could not fight tomorrow. If they lost tomorrow, they might not have the chance to fight again. According to the competition rules, if Fong Ping's side won the 8-School Alliance, then they would fight against CCMAU. If they won CCMAU and the Martial Arts University Alliance lost to the 8-School Alliance, then both sides would not have the chance to meet. If MCMU lost to CCMAU, then both sides would have to fight again. Whether there would be a third match mainly depended on the outcome of the Martial Arts University Alliance tomorrow. If they won, then they still had a chance to turn the tables. If they lost, the best result was only 3rd place, provided that they could defeat MCMAU, who had lost to CCMAU. Fong Ping did not care so much. He turned his head and said, "Let's go. It's our turn in the afternoon." He was just about to leave when Tang Feng suddenly appeared and said, "Your instructor went out again, but she knows that the Donghu Fong family is here. She asked me to tell you that if you don't beat the Donghu Fong family down this time, she'll beat you down." Fong Ping almost vomited blood. Everything was his fault. She asked him to defeat Han Su, asked him to defeat 5 in the afternoon, asked him to defeat Fong Wenxiang of the Donghu Fong family. He did not mention the benefits, but there were a lot of disadvantages. Tang Feng laughed and said, "Don't worry. Your instructor and that person from the Fong family have a grudge for many years. If you help prevent her anger, you'll be rewarded when the time comes." Fong Wenxiang, huh? Fong Ping muttered. The other party was very strong, not necessarily weaker than Han Su. At least the last few heaven-shaking fist outbursts had around 50 calories vitality, almost at the level of a killer move. In order to hone their bones, these freshmen actually did not cultivate their combat techniques that deeply. After all, they were too young and had too little time. It was already very difficult to reach the level of a killer move. At least the main forces of the Martial Arts University Alliance and CCMAU did not show that their combat techniques had reached the level of a killer move in their first battle. However, they had basically mastered the use of combat techniques. The lowest outburst of vitality was around 30 calories, we'll see. It's still early anyway. If MCMU wanted to meet CCMAU, they had to win the match in the afternoon first. Tomorrow, the Martial Arts University Alliance would fight against the 8-School Alliance, and the day after that, it would be their turn to fight against CCMAU. Tang Feng did not say anything else. Finally, he said, "Be careful in the afternoon. Don't screw up." "I know." As Fong Ping and the others left, the audience below the stage began to disperse. However, at this moment, there was no longer the enthusiasm and noise from the beginning. Many people were silent. A total of 8 matches were fought in the morning, and no one died. However, of the 10 contestants who went on stage, except for Fong Wenxiang who went on stage last, all of them were injured. There were also 3 or 4 who were seriously injured. The matches were much more intense than they had imagined. This was only the first round. What next? Would the matches in the afternoon be the same as in the morning? Would it be even more intense when they fought for first place at the end? The audience did not know and could not understand why these students would risk their lives and fight to the death without retreating. Unless they were truly exhausted, none of the 5 main players of the Martial Arts University Alliance would admit defeat when they still had energy to spare, even if they knew they were no match for their opponents. Walking out of the gym, Fong Ping exhaled softly. Before he could say anything, he suddenly heard someone crying Brother! As soon as she said that, Fong Yuan rushed into Fong Ping's arms, sobbing. Can we not compete in the afternoon? Brother, let's not fight anymore. Fong Ping gently rubbed her head, smiling. What are you thinking about? I'm the captain. Brother, let's not fight anymore. They're so cold-blooded. Fong Yuan's face was still tinged with fear and tears. The 8 matches in the morning had really frightened her. In her imagination, a martial artist was like a star, so dazzling, so free and unrestrained. Her impression of her brother was a big bad guy who smiled cheekily, cheated her of her pocket money, and pinched her cheeks. He was not like the martial artists on the stage today, who fought to the death the moment they stepped on the stage. Silly girl, this is a real martial artist. How can I not compete? Fong Ping murmured softly. At this point, if he did not compete, he would not be able to survive in the martial arts circle in the future. MCMU would not agree to it, and neither would the Department of Education. Even if he were to exaggerate, the government would not agree to it. Sino-Nation martial artists could be timid, but they could not do so at this time at the first open competition. This was the first open martial arts competition. As the captain of MCMAU, Fong Ping's cowardice would not only affect the school, but also affect everyone's perception of martial artists. It's okay, it's really okay. Your brother, I am very strong. Those people in the morning were weaklings. That's why they're like this. In the afternoon, watch how your brother beats them up. Don't worry. After comforting his sister, Fong Ping saw Wu Zhihao and the others. These people looked at Fong Ping with complicated expressions, wanting to say something but hesitating. Yesterday, they were envious and jealous of Fong Ping and the others' limitless glory. Today, however, they were not envious or jealous. The battles in the morning had made them fully understand how much the prodigies who stood on the stage yesterday had sacrificed. Go do what you have to do. It's okay. I won't be eating lunch with you guys. We need to discuss our strategy. My sister, brother. Fong Yuan's eyes were red. She tugged at his shirt, unwilling to let go. All right, why are you crying? Your brother, I have defeated all rank 1 martial artists, and it's not like I haven't fought rank 2 martial artists before. I'll be fine, but if you cry and something happens to me. Fong Yuan stopped crying immediately, not knowing what to do. Go. Have a good sleep in the afternoon. Don't come to watch the battles. I'll get someone to record it for you. Then you'll know how awesome your brother is. Chapter 157. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. MCMU gym. Compared to the morning when there was still a need for people to maintain order, at this moment, the audience was much more self-aware. They quietly found their seats and took their seats one after another. Before the participants entered the venue, Lu Huarong said, after the morning's competition ended, I looked at the reactions on the internet. Many people felt that the friendly competition was too cruel. There were all kinds of comments on the internet, saying that some students were cruel and some were too stupid. Why did he have to fight like this? Seeing that you can't win, why don't you admit defeat and surrender? Lu Huarong's tone suddenly became somewhat agitated as he said, that's because there are only martial artists who die in battle, and no martial artists who surrender. Everyone, remember my words. There are some things that you don't understand now, but that doesn't mean you'll never understand. There will always be people who are silently sacrificing for you. They can die in battle, they can be defeated, but they will never surrender. It's not bad that it's an exchange match this time, and it doesn't stop students from admitting defeat. However, surrendering until the very last moment is a form of humiliation. Chun Shuiyin added lightly, it's fine if you don't have enough strength, but your bones must be hard. Martial arts universities are a role model to all martial artists. As the two of them spoke, the afternoon competition officially began. Next, let's take a look at MCMAU and the 8 school alliances lineup. MCMAU. Fong Ping, Fu Chaoning, Yang Xiaoman, Zhao Xiumei, Zhao Lei. MCMAU had also chosen their captain as the starter. Would the 8 school alliance send their captain as the starter? In the morning, we witnessed an exciting battle between the captains. Will the match in the afternoon be even more exciting? Next, let's Let's look at the lineup of the 8 School Alliance. 8 School Alliance: Zhang Guanglin, Chen Hongwei, Wei Bin, Zhang Jingdong, Kai Qinghai. The 8 School Alliance did not send the captain as the starter, but Zhang Guanglin from South Sino University of Science and Technology. The captain, Wei Bin, was in the middle, and Kai Qinghai, who was also from Sino Nation Martial Arts University, brought up the rear. Was this the 8 School Alliance's strategy? Is it because they've been affected by what happened in the morning and are afraid that their captain's loss will affect their morale? Lu Huarong made a rough guess, then laughed loudly and said, "Now, let's invite the contestants onto the stage." Backstage, Fong Ping was dressed in black exercise clothes, holding the assembled Feng's widow in his hand. He took a deep breath and strode forward. "Good luck. Don't hold back. 1 kill 5. Everyone else cheered him on. Tang Feng and the other instructors were also at the side, but they did not say anything. In the arena, Fong Ping wielded his Changdao and leaped onto it. Below the stage, Fong Yuan did not listen to Fong Ping and did not come. Her palms were sweaty as she gripped Xiaoling's arm tightly. At the same time that Fong Ping went up the stage, Zhang Guanglin, who was on the other side, also went up the stage with his alloy staff. Magic City Martial Arts University, Fong Ping. 8 School Alliance, Zhang Guanglin. Zhang Guanglin's expression was solemn. South Sino University of Science and Technology had a friendly match with MCMEU before, and he had fought against people from MCMEU before. At that time, MCMEU had sent out almost all the members of the reserve team. Only Zhao Xuemei was on stage among the main members. But at that time, Zhao Xuemei had also fought very fiercely. Even now, Zhang Guanglin hadn't forgotten that Zhao Xuemei had almost kicked that person's throat. If Zhao Xuemei was like that, what about Fong Ping? Fong Ping was the captain of MCMEU. The 8 School Alliance had also guessed that their captain would be the starter, so they changed the original order. Zhang Guanglin's primary goal was not to defeat Fong Ping, but to deplete his vitality. Chen Hongwei's goal was to win if he could. If he could not, then he would drag it out until Fong Ping could no longer fight, giving Wei Bin an advantage in numbers. Begin! At the referee's command, Zhang Guanglin retreated instantly. Fong Ping did not rush to attack, but stood still. The situation of these two people immediately caused everyone to be somewhat surprised. Fong Ping, however, was unhurried. He did not even lift his Feng's widow. Instead, he dragged the ground and walked slowly toward his opponent. Last time at South Sino University of Science and Technology, I saw a student fight while accumulating energy, and the effect was not bad. This time, I'd like to borrow it. You don't mind, right? Zhang Guanglin's expression was solemn, but he did not reply, nor did he retreat. Fong Ping was using accumulating energy to fight, so he could not avoid it. Instead, he had to take the initiative and interrupt Fong Ping's accumulation. Before Fong Ping could walk over, Zhang Guanglin's long staff whistled, aiming straight for Fong Ping's throat. Fong Ping did not use his saber. His head turned in a circle, avoiding the other party's attack. Zhang Guanglin was not surprised. His long staff changed from a stab to a sweep, and halfway through, he took the opportunity to strike like thunder. According to the understanding of some of the martial artists present, Fong Ping was now accumulating energy, so naturally, he would not use his saber. But in the next moment, many people knew that they had guessed wrong. Fong Ping, who had been dragging his saber, suddenly raised it and slashed forward. There was a clang, and sparks flew everywhere. Zhang Guanglin only felt a shock from the alloy staff, so much so that his palms were numb and trembling. "I just don't want you to avoid the fight," Fong Ping said suddenly, and then the Changdao stirred up a gust of wind in the air. Clang! Zhang Guanglin forcefully blocked the saber again, and his whole body retreated rapidly. This time, Fong Ping did not stop. His feet moved instantly, and with a roar, the Changdao slashed again. Clang! Before the sound had died away, the Changdao moved like a shadow, and a clang sounded again. Before everyone could react, the third sound came, But it was no longer a crisp clang, but the sound of metal being cut. Crack! The faint sound of breaking was heard, and many people on the second floor had a change of expression. At this moment, Fong Ping had broken Zhang Guanglin's alloy long staff in 3 slashes. Zhang Guanglin obviously did not expect that in the next moment, the Changdao, which still had some strength left, would slash his chest. Pooh! As blood splattered, the sound of Zhang Guanglin's sternum breaking could be heard. Fong Ping did not stop. He raised his Changdao, his vitality surging again, and slashed downward. Surrender! A grandmaster on the second floor shouted loudly, admitting defeat. This time, the referee did not choose to block Fong Ping's Changdao. Instead, he pulled Zhang Guanglin backward, dodging Fong Ping's Changdao. Fong Ping did not draw his saber, but slashed the floor of the arena. A loud bang was heard, and a deep saber mark appeared on the floor. Phew! Zhang Guanglin breathed in pain. His chest already dyed red with blood. He knew that he was no match for the MCMU captain, but he did not expect the other party to defeat him in this way. 3 slashes had broken his alloy long staff. Below the battle stage, Lu Huarong was also slightly surprised. MCMU's captain, Fong Ping, didn't display too many techniques, but he split the F-grade alloy staff in 3 slashes. The vitality outburst of all 3 slashes was around 60 calories. Does he not want to fight the second round? Yes, Fong Ping's fight looked easy, but he had broken his opponent's alloy long staff in 3 slashes, plus 2 slashes at the beginning and 1 at the back. Fong Ping's vitality had been depleted at least 220 calories and above. The human body still had to maintain the necessary vitality. Fong Ping won easily, and he was not injured at all. However, there was no way for him to fight the second round. At this moment, did Fong Ping still have 100 calories of vitality left? Even if he ate pills, he would not be able to recover in time, right? Lu Huarong was not the only one who thought this way. Many people thought the same, thinking that MCMU was establishing dominance and destroying the other party's morale. Zhang Guanglin was defeated too quickly, and his defeat was too shocking. This was the first time someone had used a move to break a weapon in the arena. Just as everyone was guessing, Fong Ping suddenly stuffed a pill into his mouth. One was not enough, so Fong Ping quickly stuffed another one in. In less than 20 seconds, everyone saw that Fong Ping's vitality, which had just been declining, was gradually rising. In no time, it seemed to have recovered to its peak. Second floor. An instructor from East Sino Nation Normal University could not help but frown. This is the pill being digested? Even grandmasters could not see through the human body and see through their internal organs. They could only feel that Fong Ping's vitality was recovering very quickly after taking the pill. The speed was shocking. A grandmaster from Sino Nation Martial Arts University also frowned. A physique that absorbs pills quickly? No wonder Fong Ping fought so fiercely, without the slightest thought of conserving his vitality. In this case, the 8-School Alliance was in trouble. They had to face an MCMAU captain whose vitality could recover to its peak at any time. Next year, we should limit the use of pills. Someone said this, but there was not much doubt. Right before their eyes, they only saw Fong Ping's vitality recovering after using pills. At this moment, the only thing they could think of was a physique that allowed him to absorb pills quickly. It was not that there were no martial artists like this, but it was extremely rare. Moreover, every pill had a side effect. Even with such a physique, it did not mean that one could consume large amounts of pills at will. In the arena, Fong Ping's back was covered in cold sweat. He only let out a sigh of relief when he felt the gazes leave. He did not want to expose the system, but he could not use his ability to quickly recover vitality. The more he hid it, the more suspicious it would be. He might as well use it now, in front of many grandmasters, creating the illusion that he was relying on pills to recover his vitality. As long as he gave these grandmasters this impression, it would not affect him much even if he recovered his vitality quickly in other places. At this moment, seeing that the grandmaster's gazes were no longer sharp, Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. When Chun Hongwei went on stage, Fong Ping was not as cautious as he was the first time. He smiled and said, "I saw that you used a weapon last time. Today is a good time to try out my manic explosion." As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping attacked first. Fong Ping's feet were as fast as lightning. With a few light steps, he was already close to Chun Hongwei. Chun Hongwei's expression changed slightly. He did not expect Fong Ping to be so fast. "I almost thought that Fong Ping had honed his upper limbs. I only remembered that he had honed his lower limbs when he used stepping techniques. Cloud Step is not as fast as Ghost Step, but speed also depends on the level of cultivation." He could not continue. As he said this, Fong Ping was already close to Chun Hongwei, swinging his saber and slashing. Clang clang sounded again. Fong Ping's strategy was the same as before. Break your weapon so that you could not block it. Clang! A long sound rang out. The upper half of the Chongdao in Chun Hongwei's hand fell to the ground. Chun Hongwei could not dodge in time, or rather, he could not dodge Fong Ping's slashes at all due to the huge vibration. At this moment, Chun Hongwei roared and abandoned his saber. He put his hands together and grasped Fong Ping's blade. He thought that Fong Ping would wrestle with him, but Fong Ping was already moving forward before he exerted any force with his saber. He straightened his toes again and jabbed out. His alloy boots kicked in the air, creating a sonic boom. Chun Hongwei, who had raised his saber to block the Chongdao, was jabbed in the waist by Fong Ping. Fong Ping quickly retracted his leg and changed the jab into a kick, kicking out again at lightning speed. Bang! This time, Chun Hongwei was sent flying and fell out of the arena. "Quick!" Lu Huarong immediately explained. "Fong Ping's saber is fast, and so are his legs. His outburst of vitality is strong too, almost completely suppressing the two members of the 8 School Alliance. Also, Fong Ping's vitality recovers very quickly. If the 8 School Alliance doesn't have a good strategy to restrain Fong Ping, I'm afraid it's going to be bad this time." The audience below the arena was also a little dumbfounded. Fong Ping had won the first 2 battles easily. They did not know that Fong Ping's vitality was strong and that his recovery was extremely fast, faster than they had imagined. They only felt that MCMU's captain was fighting the 8 School Alliance members with ease. It was nothing like the morning when both sides were exhausted and covered in injuries. Backstage, Wei Bin's expression changed slightly. The 8 School Alliance instructor said with a serious expression, "His speed is extremely fast, and so is his saber technique. That's not the point. The point is that every move of his has reached the level of a killer move, and his vitality outburst is more than 60 calories. According to the usual practice, if you avoid 3 of his saber moves or let him use 3 saber moves, you'll be able to exchange points. But now that Fong Ping's vitality was not depleted, the 8 School Alliance instructor saw that he had started to take pills again. Moreover, this guy's vitality skyrocketed in an instant after he finished taking pills. Wei Bin, think of a way to avoid his first 3 moves. Don't give him a chance to take pills. Once the 3 moves are over, defeat him immediately." The instructor could only give this advice. They could not give Fong Ping time, or else he would be in trouble if he took pills again. The instructor also felt that there would always be a limit. Fong Ping could not possibly recover every time he took pills. However, this was Fong Ping's first time fighting in front of the public. No one knew, and they could not test his limits. Soon, Wei Bin went up to the stage. Seeing Fong Ping's vigorous vitality, Wei Bin's expression turned ugly. The previous 2 had failed for nothing. Since Fong Ping's vitality had recovered, the quick fight would not have much effect. Wei Bin was no longer in a hurry. He probed, "Fong Ping, if you take pills like this, it'll cause a lot of damage to your body. You've already won 2 rounds. There's no need to destroy your foundation." Fong Ping smiled. "It's fine. I've taken 100 vitality pills before. I'll be fine after digesting them for a while." Wei Bin did not know whether he was telling the truth or not, but he could only grit his teeth and prepare to fight to the death. Otherwise, if Fong Ping continued to fight like this, it was not impossible for him to defeat 5 opponents at once. At the referee's command, both of them slashed at each other almost at the same time. Wei Bin also used a saber, but not a long sword like Fong Ping's. After Wei Bin slashed, he quickly switched to defense. Fong Ping, on the other hand, did the same thing and slashed at his saber again. Upstairs, Tang Feng cursed under his breath. Idiot! Some of the 8 school alliance's leaders laughed. Did Fong Ping really think that his saber could break other people's weapons? Previously, both of them had used F-class alloy weapons, but Wei Bin was not. Although everyone thought that there was no difference between a rank 1 martial artist's F-class and D-class weapons in the beginning, Wei Bin was the team leader, so he still had to put up a front. His saber was also a D-class alloy saber. Clang, clang, clang. After 3 slashes, Fong Ping's vitality was depleted by a large amount. Every slash was an outburst of 60 calories vitality. 3 slashes had depleted almost 200 calories. At this moment, Fong Ping only had the strength for 1 last slash. Wei Bin's defense, on the other hand, had depleted much less. After 3 slashes, this time, it did not break the other's weapon like before. The audience was a little surprised. Wei Bin quickly seized the opportunity, not giving Fong Ping time to recover. In the next moment, Wei Bin roared and stomped his feet on the ground. His shoes broke into pieces, and he attacked Fong Ping like a ferocious tiger. He had already abandoned his saber. At this moment, Wei Bin wanted to fight Fong Ping in close combat, not giving Fong Ping the chance to take medicine. Just as Wei Bin lunged at him, a smile suddenly appeared at the corner of Fong Ping's mouth. Wei Bin was very strong. At least in close combat, Fong Ping might not be able to take him down easily. However, since the other had abandoned his saber and approached him, thinking that he could not use any more outbursts, then he could not blame Fong Ping for killing him easily. Retreat! Someone could not help but yell. Then, he was interrupted by the whispers of the others. Before Wei Bin could react, Fong Ping had also abandoned his saber. In the next moment, something that defied common sense happened. Fong Ping took a step and leaped more than a meter high, avoiding Wei Bin's attack. Then, Fong Ping's left foot seemed to be stepping on the ground in midair. With another step, he leaped in front of Wei Bin. This defied common sense. Fong Ping stepped on the air to borrow strength. Lu Huarong was also very surprised. Elevated stance. Elevated stance. At this moment, many people exclaimed in a low voice. Peak rank 1 Fong Ping's pole standing had actually reached the elevated stance. Although pole standing in the elevated stance could not allow him to fly in the air, Fong Ping could still borrow strength and take a few steps forward in the air. This was the meaning of the elevated stance. The so-called elevated stance was actually an overview of the 3 levels of pole standing. Elevated stance. In the midst of everyone's exclamations, Fong Ping's right leg lashed out like lightning, sweeping Wei Bin's chest with a bang. Wei Bin did not expect Fong Ping to arrive in front of him in midair, nor did he expect Fong Ping to have a vitality outburst. With this kick, Wei Bin's chest caved in instantly. Wei Bin's face was full of pain, but he gritted his teeth and raised his fist to attack Fong Ping's groin. Fong Ping saw this and did not hold back. His legs clamped down on Wei Bin's fist. As his body fell, he clenched his fists and punched at Wei Bin's head. Surrender! Someone on the second floor cried out to surrender again. Otherwise, Wei Bin's head might explode. His head had not been honed. Ah! Wei Bin roared angrily, looking extremely unwilling. In this battle, he was almost beaten up the entire time. He did not unleash his strength at all. It would have been better if he had not roared. Once he did, blood spurted out of his mouth. The kick on his chest just now was not light. To be honest, the vitality outburst from Fong Ping's kick was no less than the force of his saber slash earlier. Wei Bin lost too. Lu Huarong felt a little emotional. Then he could not help but say, Fong Ping's pole standing is in the elevated stance, and he has mastered 2 killer moves. His saber and leg techniques have both reached the level of a killer move. This, unless a rank 1 has mastered an ultimate move and is faster than him. I'm afraid he's invincible among his peers. Chen Shuyan added, time is tight for the younger generation. To be faster than him, one must also have at least a killer move. Look at Han Su. Han Su's speed is slightly faster than him. Although Han Su did not display the power of a killer move, Han Su's speed was indeed fast. Fong Ping might not be able to match up to him. Chapter 158. Wei Bin was also carried off the stage. The three from the 8 School Alliance had taken a few of Fong Ping's killer moves head-on. They were also injured. Although they did not look as serious as the morning, their injuries were much worse than Bai Yin and the rest. That's 3 in a row. Backstage, Fu Changning did not know whether to laugh or cry. If Fong Ping defeated 5 in a row, he would not have to go on stage. However, everyone had been preparing for so long. If they did not even get a chance to go on stage, it would be a disaster. Zhao Lei did not say anything. He looked indifferent. Fong Ping could fight however he wanted. He would not get a chance to go on stage no matter what. There were still 3 people queuing up ahead. Zhao Lei did not think that the 8 School Alliance could defeat all 3 of them. Below the stage, Fong Yuan was also dumbfounded. Was Fong Ping really that strong? In everyone's eyes, Fong Ping had effortlessly defeated the 3 opponents, and one of them was even the team leader. After 3 battles, Fong Ping did not even suffer a scratch. He's not bragging. Fong Yuan mumbled, then suddenly laughed. That's good too. The stronger, the better at the back. Wu Zhihao looked at the others. After a while, he said, Has Guan Yu been reborn? Fong Ping held the Feng's widow in his hand. Every slash was swift and fierce, reminding him of Guan Yu II. Lu Ruoqi corrected him. That's a Feng's widow. Huang Zhong uses it, but Guan Yu doesn't. They're getting serious now. Wu Zhihao was speechless. Then he complained, This guy is too strong. Yes, he is. No one could deny that Fong Ping was really strong. Otherwise, even if his vitality could recover, it would not have been so easy for him to defeat 3 opponents. In the arena, Fong Ping chewed another 2 rank 1 vitality pills. After 3 battles, he had used 6 rank 1 vitality pills. He had used up all his rank 1 vitality pills. He still had a lot of normal ones and 4 rank 2 ones. What a waste. Fong Ping mumbled. The vitality pills were indeed wasted. Their only use was to increase his vitality, to continue honing his bones and meridians. Zhang Jingdong of the 8 School Alliance went on stage, feeling helpless. It was not that they had no fighting spirit. However, they had encountered a cheat. How could they fight? After 3 battles, Fong Ping's vitality had returned to its peak. He thought of the instructor's words before he went on stage. Although Fong Ping's vitality had recovered, he would still be exhausted from fighting, and his body had its limits. Even if the 8 School Alliance lost, they could not be defeated by Fong Ping alone. This was no longer a matter of winning or losing. If all 5 of them were defeated in one go, then the 8 School Alliance's name would be taken away. Zhang Jingdong remembered his mentor's words and equipped the D-class staff that his mentor had just given him. As soon as he got on the stage, Zhang Jingdong began to defend himself, to deplete Fong Ping's stamina. Although vitality could increase stamina, it didn't mean that it was the same as stamina. What he needed to do now was to deplete Fong Ping's stamina. However, he was not as fast as Fong Ping. As soon as he retreated, Fong Ping came at him, slashing with his saber. Zhang Jingdong gritted his teeth and took the blow, then quickly retreated and dodged again. Fong Ping did not give up. He continued to chase. When he caught up, he raised his saber and slashed. Zhang Jingdong retaliated. Fong Ping did not hold back. He slashed with his saber again. Fong Ping's vitality, even if it doesn't recover, it's still over 300 calories below the stage. Lu Huarong sighed again. Chun Xuan focused and said, It's more than that. I'm afraid it's already 320 calories. I've just asked around about Fong Ping. He's thrice honed. Thrice honed? Lu Huarong was surprised at first. Then he said matter-of-factly, That's true. Thrice honed means that before becoming an aspiring martial artist, their vitality has reached 200 calories and above. Only aspiring martial artists like that are thrice honed. The outside world might not understand this. All you need to know is that these martial artists have the strongest vitality and the toughest bones among their peers. Everyone, don't try it so easily. In the vast Sino nation, there are less than 5 people who are thrice honed every year. There's no need to pursue honing multiple times. Lu Huarong explained and gave a few more warnings. Since some things were going to be revealed slowly, it was necessary to tell the public some information that they did not understand. For example, thrice honing, it was not necessary in the past, but now it was time to spread the word. After Lu Huarong finished speaking, there was a slight uproar below the stage. It was the first time many people knew that an aspiring martial artist could cultivate such a high vitality. In the crowd, Tan Jinping was still in a daze. An aspiring martial artist with more than 200 calories? Was he a 250 calories martial artist, a peak rank 1 martial artist? Also, he did not see any martial artists who participated in the competition today with lower vitality than him. No, everyone had higher vitality than him. The power of their explosive moves made Tan Jinping despair. They could all kill him with one move. As they spoke, the situation on the stage changed again. The staff in Zhang Jingdong's hand had been thrown away. His hands were badly mutilated, but he refused to admit defeat. He desperately ran around the ring. Huff! The panting was so loud that some of the audience in the front row could hear it. Zhang Jingdong did not care about his image. Sometimes, he rolled to avoid Fong Ping's attacks. Other times, he was hit by Fong Ping and flew backward. He grabbed the edge of the stage and rolled to continue playing hide-and-seek with Fong Ping. His training clothes were in tatters. He could not even swallow the blood at the corner of his mouth. Fong Ping's forehead was also sweating. He panted for a while. He was faster than his opponent, but his opponent was completely defenseless and ran with all his might. Fong Ping still had to defend against his counterattack, so he was not as focused as him. After chasing him for a while, Fong Ping was speechless. "You're going to die if you don't admit defeat." He was not lying. Zhang Jingdong had been hit a few times. The wounds on his body were so many that they were unrecognizable. If this went on, he would bleed to death. Zhang Jingdong's face was pale, but he did not say a word. He continued to dodge Fong Ping. A grandmaster from the 8 School Alliance on the second floor sighed softly. Admit defeat. Zhang Jingdong had already demonstrated his willpower. His injuries were severe. If he did not admit defeat, he would die on the stage, just as Fong Ping had said. The Grandmaster admitted defeat on his behalf. Zhang Jingdong lost his will to fight and fell to the ground with a thud. A few medical staff immediately went up and carried him off the stage. The referee looked at Fong Ping with a complicated expression. He asked loudly, "Fong Ping, do you want to continue?" Fong Ping felt around in his pocket and said sheepishly, "Forget it. Let's give the people behind us a chance." Some of the powerhouses on the second floor had sharp eyes. Someone chuckled and said, "He's out of pills. He's taken 6 rank 1 vitality pills. He's probably at his limit. This is what a rank 1 martial artist physique is like. Maybe he's really at his limit. That's good too. If this goes on, the 8 School Alliance will lose face." "I don't think so. This kid might be afraid that you old geezers will hold a grudge against him," someone joked. No one took it seriously, but Tang Feng muttered, "This kid is very cunning. I'm afraid he might not be out of pills." How could Fong Ping not be well prepared when he was on the stage? Now that he was suddenly out of pills, Tang Feng would be the first to doubt it. In his eyes, Fong Ping was the epitome of cunning. He might have given up suddenly to save face for the 8 School Alliance, just as the person had said. They were 8 second-class martial arts universities with more than 10 grandmasters. If Fong Ping had defeated the opponent's team alone, even if the grandmasters did not hold a grudge against him, they would not be kind to him. Now that he had defeated 4 of them, it was just right. He had shown his strength and that he had a sense of propriety. Fong Ping walked down the stage with ease. Although he had expended a lot of vitality, he was not injured. Only CCMU's Fong Wenxiang had done this before. Fu Changding, who was walking toward him, said with tears streaming down his face, "You've finally come down. It's finally my turn to shine." Fong Ping reminded him, "Don't be careless." The person holding the line won't be too weak. Wei Bin is also very strong. It's just that I'm stronger. Fu Changding rolled his eyes and ignored him. He walked up the stage with his spear. On the other side, Kai Qinghai of the 8th School Alliance walked up the stage with a solemn expression. He was the only one left in the 8th School Alliance. There was not even a single person to cheer for him. The other four had been sent to the infirmary. Backstage, as soon as Fong Ping returned, Bai Ruoshi chuckled. "Are you really out of pills?" "I'm really out of pills." Fong Ping complained, "The school only gave me 5 rank, 1 vitality pills. I've used them up and even had to pay for one. Instructor Bai, the school must reimburse me, or else I won't be able to fight later. If the school reimburses me 20 pills, I'll defeat CCMU later. If they give me 10 pills, I can fight at least 4 matches. If not, I'll fight 1 match at most. You've all seen how fast my vitality is being depleted." Before Bai Ruoshi could speak, Tang Feng, who had just come down, humphed. "In your dreams, Instructor Tang, what you're saying doesn't make sense. I'm fighting for MCMU, but MCMU can't make me bleed and cry, right? My family is poor, unlike Zhao Lei and Yang Xiaoman. My parents are both normal people. In order for me to get into a martial arts university, they put their lives on the line. They're not even 50 years old yet, but they're living like they're 60. Now that the school wants me to fight, I don't even have pills to replenish my vitality." Fong Ping was devastated. How can MCMU treat poor students who work hard for the school like this? Everyone in MCMU was a little embarrassed. What he said was not unreasonable. Fong Ping alone defeated 4 opponents. They did not have to put in any effort. Although they did not have the chance to perform, they did save on pills. Fong Ping fought so fiercely, MCMU should indeed compensate him more. Tang Feng was speechless this time. After a while, he said, "I'll compensate you with 5 rank, 1 vitality pills later." 5 pills? Fong Ping's face was full of grief and anger. He said painfully, "5 pills are not enough. There are at least 2 more matches. You'll hold the line at the back." Tang Feng humphed. Fong Ping was not weak, but this guy was a gold-swallowing monster. Now that they had seen the strength of each team, they could rearrange the lineup and let Fong Ping hold the line. That way, Fong Ping would have fewer matches. The other members of MCMU could not just stay and watch the show. That would not be in line with their original intentions. When Fong Ping heard this, he pursed his lips and said nothing. If he was holding the line, giving him another 5 pills was not a small amount. As they chatted, they did not forget to observe the situation in front. In the arena, Fu Changding almost vomited blood. F***CK. You're not the captain? Wei Bin that bastard. Fu Changding was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. Kai Qinghai's strength was beyond his expectations. The elevated stance. Another one at the elevated stance. Forget about the elevated stance. Kai Qinghai did not use weapons. He used his legs. The vitality outburst from his leg technique was no weaker than Fong Ping's. 1 kick would consume at least 60 calories. Fu Changding was slightly careless earlier. His long spear was swept away by his leg, and even his arm was almost broken. Fu Changding was furious. He used a spear, yes, but do not forget that he had not learned the spear for long. He had been using his legs all this time. Kai Qinghai's leg technique was not weak, but neither was he. After throwing away the long spear, Fu Changding seemed to have no more burdens. He began to compete with Kai Qinghai in terms of leg strength. Both of them did not give way to each other. They used their legs as weapons and collided with each other. Backstage, Fong Ping could not help but rub his leg. He was speechless. "Doesn't it hurt?" Fu Changding's face has turned green. "How can it not hurt?" Tang Songding teased. He then laughed. He can't afford to lose face. He can't retreat. You just swept away 4 of them, and he can't even defeat 1. He can't go on. This guy wants his face. This time, he won't retreat even if his leg is broken. Yang Xiaoman was not amused. Kai Qinghai is not weak, but if this goes on, even if Fu Changding loses, his vitality will be depleted. I don't believe there's anyone who can revive in 3 seconds after eating a pill. Kai Qinghai was not weak. Although Fu Chanding did not stand out in the team, it did not mean that he was weak. At the beginning of the semester, Fu Chanding had suppressed many martial artists. When he carried out his mission, he had brought along a few pretty girls and completed his mission well. He performed even better than Yang Xiaoman. How could a person like this be weak? However, Kai Qinghai could force Fu Chanding to disregard his image and fight him head-on. This proved his strength. Both of them were competing in vitality, willpower, and pain tolerance. Whoever could not withstand it first would lose. Fortunately, rank 1 martial artists had limited vitality. Even if both of them did not unleash their full vitality, Kai Qinghai was the first to deplete his vitality after more than 10 kicks. The move he used to sweep away Fu Chanding's spear had used up more vitality than Fu Chanding. A few minutes later, Fu Chanding sauntered in arrogantly. "I won. Not bad. How did you take so long to walk such a short distance?" "Old Fu, don't tell me you're limping?" Fu Chanding said calmly. "It's nothing. It's just a small injury." Fong Ping suddenly kicked his calf lightly. Before he could say anything, Fu Chanding suddenly fell to the ground with a loud scream. Fong Ping looked embarrassed. He said dryly, "Faking it? It hurts, it hurts." "Fong Ping, how dare you use hidden force to hurt me? Despicable." Fu Chanding would never admit that he was already at the end of his tether. He kept saying that Fong Ping had used hidden force to hurt him. It was despicable and shameless. Everyone did not know whether to laugh or cry. Fong Ping's expression darkened. This guy was trying to pin it on him. Outside, the referee's voice announcing MCMU wins spread throughout the stadium. Chapter 159. The 2 matches of the first round had ended. The news of the exchange competition was all over the internet. Martial Arts University Alliance, number 89 University Alliance, defeat in the first round. CCMAU and MCMAU have both won. The famous universities have not tarnished their reputation. CCMU's Han Su, rank 1 against a rank 2, leapfrogging to win. MCMU's Fong Ping has won 4 matches in the first round and retreated unscathed. In the first match of the championship, 5 people were heavily injured. Other than Fong Ping and Fong Wenxiang, everyone else is injured. Isn't it too bloody? Rank 2 martial artist Sun Mingyu has lost the first battle. His palm is broken. Rank 2 martial artist Chen Jiaxing is holding the fort all by himself. There's nothing he can do. The 8 School Alliance is 0-5. Is MCMU too strong, or is the 8 School Alliance too weak? The internet was in an uproar. Several video websites on the internet had also obtained the broadcasting rights for the friendly competition this time. Countless spectators also saw the martial arts competition on the internet. In the first 2 matches, out of the 17 contestants, 5 were heavily injured and 10 were lightly injured. It had to be said that this result was out of everyone's expectations. The Martial Arts University Alliance, which had 2 rank 2 martial artists, was defeated miserably in the end. This was big news. The fact that the 8 School Alliance was easily defeated by MCMAU made many people sigh. The 8 School Alliance's reputation was not weak at all. 8 top 10 martial arts universities had joined forces, but they were defeated by 2 people from MCMAU. This was even caused by MCMU's captain, Fong Ping, stepping down from the stage. This made the 8 School Alliance appear to be much weaker. At the same time, the following matches were announced on the internet. January 12th, Martial Arts University Alliance versus 8 School Alliance. January 13th, Capital City Martial Arts University versus Magic City Martial Arts University. For the match on the 12th, the outside world predicted that it would be a match between the reserve team members. Both teams' main teams were almost completely crippled. What the outside world was really interested in was the battle between the 2 elite universities on the 13th. Fong Ping's performance was outstanding, but CCMU was not weak either. The other party had defeated the Martial Arts University Alliance, which had 2 rank 2 martial artists. They had won with difficulty, but it did not mean that they were weak. It could only be said that the Martial Arts University Alliance was very strong, forcing the other party to fight to the end. For a time, the exchange competition was once again pushed to the center of public opinion. As for some of the reports that said that it was too bloody, the young people did not take it seriously. This was a true martial artist. Who doesn't have a wuxia dream? How could he be called a martial artist if he could settle debts and enmity without spilling blood? On the contrary, many people cheered loudly. He had seen too many star martial artists' flowery but impractical moves. He had seen too many political guest martial artists' nonsense. He had seen too many commercial martial artists' amiability. At this moment, when they saw the martial arts students fighting for their lives, this was how they imagined martial artists to be. McMao. Fong Yuan's smile grew even rounder. She tugged at Fong Ping's arm and said in a sticky voice, "Brother, you're amazing. Of course, I've already said that beating them is a piece of cake. Leave them some face. Otherwise, even 1 against 5 is fine. Brother, can you beat them without getting injured the day after tomorrow? The day after tomorrow, I'll hold the line and go last." Fong Ping chuckled and said, "Don't worry. I won't be using my full strength today. The day after tomorrow, if CCMU still thinks that I have this ability to deal with you, just you watch, I'll kill a few of them with 1 slash." Fong Ping said it as if he was joking. Wu Zhihao and the others did not take it seriously. Of course, even now, in their hearts, Fong Ping's power was limitless. Wu Zhihao sighed. "I know you're powerful, but you're too powerful. We weren't prepared for it. We were worried about you before." They were indeed worried about Fong Ping in the afternoon, but they only watched Fong Ping torture people. Fong Ping might be confident, but he shook his head. They're just rank 1 martial artists. Even if there are 2 rank 2, they're just beginners. They're only at the bottom of the martial arts circle. So what if they're invincible in rank 1 and rank 2? What about rank 3? If they're invincible in rank 3, what about rank 4 and rank 5? The path of martial arts is too long. You guys think that I'm powerful, but I've never thought that I'm really that strong. Right now, any rank 3 martial artist can defeat me. Of course, I can try to kill a vitality martial artist. Tan Jinping, who was standing at the side, felt sad again. Fong Ping looked down on rank 1 and vitality martial artists. If he wanted to kill someone, he would kill a rank 3 vitality martial artist. What did that mean? Old Tan said nothing. Fong Ping continued. Besides, instead of envying me and using me as a target, the people of Sun City should use Wang Jinyang as a target. Brother Wang is rank 3. Fong Ping interrupted. Rank 3? Rank 4? Brother Wang was ranked 27th on the 3 lower rank 3 martial artists ranking list. Don't think that 27th place is worthless. He swept all the way, beating up CCMU rank 3 martial artists until no one dared to challenge him. Let's set a small goal first, catch up to him, and then enter the ranks of grandmasters. This is the pursuit of martial artists. Everyone was dumbfounded. They really did not know about this. Tan Jinping was also shocked. He stammered. He's rank 4? Yes. This has already reached the strength of Auspicious Sun City's commander. Auspicious Sun City's commander might not be his match. Fong Ping curled his lips. How many years had it been since these inland commanders had a chance to fight? They must have been strong back then, or else they would not have become commanders. However, in the territories without the catacombs entrance, these people had very few opportunities to fight. After many years of neglect, it was hard to say how much strength they had left. The few of them were completely speechless. This time coming to Magic City, they had been dealt a heavy blow. Fong Ping was already peak rank 1 and could enter rank 2 at any time. Moreover, his strength was extremely strong. Even rank 2 might not be his match. Wang Jinyang had even entered rank 4. Between these two, one was their senior from year 1, and the other was a classmate from the same year. There was really no way to compare oneself to others. Lu Ruoqi seemed to remember something and asked, Fong Ping, you used your saber to break someone's weapon. Your saber. It's forged from D-grade alloy. Lu Ruoqi did not ask further, but Wu Zhihao said in surprise, You bought it yourself? Yes, I lived frugally and almost went bankrupt. F***ck. What else could Wu Zhihao say? This guy rubbed Fang Yuan's head hard and said angrily, "Little girl, you're still thinking of selling autographs to make money. You're cheating me? If you cheat your brother's saber, why would you still open Yuan Ping Club? Your brother ate 8 million pills in this competition. His saber is worth tens of millions." Fang Yuan was dumbfounded. D-grade alloy saber. He could not even afford an F-grade dagger. He ate rank 1 vitality pills like they were jelly beans. He did not even dare to eat normal vitality pills. Comparing oneself to others was really infuriating. Fang Ping smacked his head and said exasperatedly, "Don't lead my sister astray. You don't need me to teach you. You siblings are more talented than the other to be bad guys. You only bully honest people like us." Wu Zhihao was devastated. This was too much of a blow to him. Fang Yuan looked aggrieved. "You're the bad guy." Fang Yuan did not bother him. She quickly looked at Fang Ping and said sweetly, "Brother, is that saber of yours really worth that much? Tens of millions." The little girl's eyes were about to turn into yin shapes. Her little hand had also unconsciously touched the wooden box Fang Ping was carrying. Tens of millions. How much was that? Fang Ping smacked her head and said exasperatedly, "What are you thinking about?" "Nothing." Fang Yuan hurriedly denied, saying immediately, "My brother is amazing. He'll beat the crap out of them in the next competition." "Stop flattering me." Fang Ping could not help but laugh. He exhaled slightly and said, "Let's all work hard. The future is still long, but for us martial artists or those who want to become martial artists, the future is very short. We don't have much time. Cultivate hard and improve faster. Zhihao, when you guys go back, put more pressure on yourselves. Become martial artists as soon as possible." Fang Ping did not mention sponsoring them, even though he did not lack pills like normal vitality pills. The path of a martial artist had to be walked by oneself. Fang Ping did not understand it before, but now he did. It was better to rely on oneself than on others. If he did not have the ability to become a martial artist, he might as well be a normal person. If he became a martial artist, it would not be a good thing if he did not seize every opportunity to become stronger. Moreover, these pills were with Fang Ping now. They could give him more capital to become stronger. He would only be able to obtain more when he became stronger. On the 11th, Fang Ping did not seize the opportunity to cultivate. Instead, he accompanied Fang Yuan and the others for a stroll around the area. As for Fang Ping, he had gained a bit of fame now. While they were outside, someone recognized Fang Ping and shouted "Captain of MCMAU." This attracted many people to chase after him. At that moment, Fang Ping was a little intoxicated. Fame and fortune. As expected, most people could not escape from these two words. The popularity of the championship would also motivate some youths to strive to become martial artists. It would also cause some vitality martial artists to transform into combat martial artists. On the 12th of January, Fang Ping did not go to the second floor as a contestant. Instead, he accompanied Fang Yuan to watch the battle below the stage. This battle was between the Martial Arts University Alliance and the 8 School Alliance. On the Martial Arts University Alliance's side, the two main players, Bai Yin and Chen Jiaxing, were participating. There were also 3 reserve team members, including Dongwu Martial Arts University's Wang Huijin. As for the 8 School Alliance, the 8 School Alliance only sent Kai Qinghai, one of their main players. A few grandmasters from the 8 School Alliance on the second floor glanced at Fang Ping from the corner of their eyes. They wanted to kill him. The few members who did not seem to be too seriously injured yesterday, including Wei Bin, were all bleeding from Fang Ping's internal organs. They could not participate at all. Kai Qinghai was the only exception. Although his legs were injured, after a day of treatment his condition was slightly better. Fang Ping had almost destroyed their main team. The commentator, Lu Huarong, also announced regretfully, "Yesterday, a few of the 8 School Alliance's main players suffered serious injuries and internal bleeding, so they could not participate. Today, only Kai Qinghai is participating in the main team." However, even if it's just the reserve team, I think these prodigies can still bring us a more exciting martial arts competition. Fong Ping, who was below the stage, did not dare to look at the second floor. The gazes were too terrifying. Fong Ping felt wronged. What did this have to do with him? The people on your side refused to admit defeat and even took a few of my killer moves. They're already strong enough to survive. With his current strength, it would not be difficult for him to kill a rank 2 martial artist in 3 moves. Everyone thought that the competition on the 12th would not be as exciting as yesterday. Perhaps it would not be as violent as yesterday, but it would be more brutal. Truly brutal. Whoever lost this battle would have to bid farewell to the championship and be ranked 4th. The Martial Arts University Alliance did not have to cede resources, but the 8 School Alliance would have to forfeit part of their resources if they lost the 3rd place. The 8 School Alliance's first fighter was Kai Qinghai. Kai Qinghai did not care about his own life at all. In 3 moves, he shattered the sternum of a Martial Arts University Alliance reserve team member. No one knew if he was dead or alive. Bain, who was the second to go up, was also anxious. Bain was not weak. After he went up, he fought Kai Qinghai with his life. In the end, both of them were injured. Kai Qinghai kicked by Yin's leg bone, breaking it. Bain also slashed Kai Qinghai's abdomen, cutting his intestines open. At that moment, Fong Ping covered Fong Yuan's eyes. The whole place fell into silence. The powerhouses on the second floor were silent. Some of the female audience members could not help but cry. Some people really did not understand why they had to fight so hard. Was there a difference between 3rd and 4th place? Chun Shuiyan's voice was cold. Sino Nation's martial arts resources are limited. Martial arts universities spend even more resources to train so many martial artists. No matter which martial arts university it is, they don't have enough resources and funds. What should we do? Martial artists must fight. We must fight for it ourselves. The National Martial Arts University Championship is also a fight for resources. For ourselves, for the school, for our future juniors. It may be cruel, but this is their own choice. Everyone has tried their best. There will be no regrets. Martial artists aren't here to enjoy themselves. Everything they have comes from their own struggles, from the struggles of their fathers. Even the so-called second-generation martial artists had their fathers bathed in blood and fought bravely. They are also fighting for their lives. Classmate Kai Qinghai's father is a rank 5 martial artist, but at this moment, no one would be merciful just because his father is a rank 5 martial artist. Classmate Bain also has a rank for uncle who is still fighting for his future. Some people do not work as hard as they do, suffer as much as they do, and in the end, blame it on their family background. How laughable. Can't normal people stand out? MCMU's Fong Ping comes from an ordinary family. His parents are ordinary frontline workers, but classmate Fong Ping still relied on his own efforts to get to where he is today, leading MCMU's new student team and showing off MCMU's glory. Chun Shuiyan's words plunged the audience into silence again. The rest of the competition did not change because of her words. The 8 School Alliance used the strategy of exchanging points, and at the cost of serious injuries to 3 upper stage rank 1 martial artists, they depleted Chun Jiaxing's vitality. Chun Jiaxing also suffered some minor injuries. In the end, his vitality was depleted, and he had no choice but to retreat. In the end, the upper stage rank 1 martial artist from the 8 School Alliance defeated the 4th person from the Martial Arts University Alliance at the cost of a broken arm. The outcome of the battle was once again determined by the 5th person. The martial artist from the 8 School Alliance lost an arm, but his morale was high, and he did not cower even though he was injured. The last martial artist from the Martial Arts University Alliance was also unafraid of death, and he fought with his life on the line. Whoever lost would be eliminated. Fong Yuan opened her eyes at some point. She leaned on Fong Ping's chest and whispered, "Brother, do all martial artists have to be like this? Maybe it wasn't like that in the past, but in the future, it will probably be like that." Fong Ping murmured softly. In the past, there were powerhouses protecting everyone, holding up the sky for everyone. But what about in the future? No one could predict the future. In the final battle, the 8 School Alliance still lost. The martial artist with the broken arm cried blood, but he could not help but burst into tears. They had lost. He did not cry when he was injured, but they had lost. They had lost 30% of the 8-school alliance's resources for the next year, which was enough to nurture at least 30 rank 3 martial artists. In other words, it was enough to nurture 2 or 3 rank for martial artists. Most of the time, a middle-rank martial artist was enough to change the outcome of a small-scale war. A Grandmaster martial artist from the 8-school alliance personally came down from the stage and picked up the young man lying on the ground. He said with a smile, "That's enough. You've all performed well, very well. We've brought honor to our martial arts universities, brought honor to martial artists. That's how martial artists should be. We martial artists from martial arts universities are not afraid to fight, nor are we afraid to fight. Every battle, we fight with the will to die." The old Grandmaster's voice was sonorous and powerful. His tone was filled with murderous intent. At that moment, Fong Ping felt as if he could feel the magnificent momentum of a great army. It was okay if some people did not understand. It was okay if some people did not understand. There was no way out in the battle against the catacombs creatures. Today, the younger generation had shown their brilliance. They dared to fight and fight to the death. That was enough. It was not a big deal to lose the resources. These old guys could rob and kill, but they must not lose the spirit of martial artists. At most, they would go to the depths of the catacombs, who would not dare to fight. Martial artists. At that moment, the 5,000 spectators seemed to have felt something, and their expressions became complicated again. Even if it was not explicitly said, everyone seemed to have heard something. Was this what martial artists were like? Countless young people sitting in front of their computers were also fired up. The old Grandmaster's voice seemed to echo in their ears. Martial artists from martial arts universities are not afraid to fight, nor are they afraid to fight. Chapter 160. The old Grandmaster's words put an end to the competition on the 12th. 8-School Alliance versus Martial Arts University Alliance. 8-School Alliance was the first to be eliminated from the competition. Even though the competition was over, the 8-School Alliance, Martial Arts Universities, the championship, and the old Grandmaster's summary of martial artists were not over. Martial artists dared to fight. Fight to the death. What did they fight for? Who did they fight for? In recent years, there had not been any large-scale wars in Sino Nation. There might have been small-scale ones, but they had nothing to do with martial arts university martial artists, right? There were many discussions about these on the internet. However, no one answered them, and no one gave a clear answer. Such doubts gradually arose in the hearts of ordinary people. In this competition, Fong Ping and the others acted as bystanders. After the competition, Fong Ping gathered with Fu Chongding and the others. In the training room, Bairuashi was there too. When they arrived, she said, "Tomorrow we'll fight against CCMAU. If we win, we can wait for CCMAU or Martial Arts University Alliance. If we lose, we still have to fight against the Martial Arts University Alliance and then CCMAU." Other than Chun Jiaxing, the main members of the Martial Arts University Alliance are all crippled. Therefore, the Martial Arts University Alliance is not the key. The key is whether we can get first place. Tomorrow, the school wants us to preserve our strength as much as possible. After all, whether we win or lose, we still have a match with CCMAU. The Martial Arts University Alliance was almost crippled. It would not be difficult for CCMAU or MCMAU to defeat them. The key was CCMAU and MCMAU. Both of them would almost certainly have a second match. Under such circumstances, the arrangement of the troops was also an important factor in winning or losing. Fong Ping said directly, "Why don't we just cripple CCMU's team tomorrow? The next match will naturally be easier." Bairuashi did not know whether to laugh or cry. Things were not that simple. Ignoring Fong Ping, Bairuashi continued, "For tomorrow's match, it is very likely that CCMU's main force will not fight. Li Ran is still injured, and so is Zhang Jingguang. These two probably won't fight with injuries. When the finals on the 15th, their injuries will probably be healed. That will be the most suitable time to fight. Therefore, CCMEU's team should be the three main force, Han Su, Fong Wenxiang, Wei Shujie, and two reserve team members. Their reserve team members are also peak rank 1. They are very strong and should not be underestimated. On MCMU's side, if all the main forces are sent out, and if an accident happens tomorrow and everyone is injured, then we'll be in trouble for the finals on the 15th. If MCMU's main team was defeated tomorrow, then even if they won against the Martial Arts University Alliance, they would not be able to continue fighting in the finals the day after tomorrow. CCMU's Li Ran and Zhang Jingguang were not weak. Both of them might fight in the match the day after tomorrow. Fong Ping furrowed his brows slightly. Teacher Bai, if you have any ideas, just say them. Because there's no way to tell if Han Su is the starter or the last one. If you encounter Han Su, you might not be able to hit him at all if you're slow. What the school wants is for either you or Zhao Lei to not fight tomorrow, just in case. Zhao Lei said discontentedly, Teacher, at this time, we're afraid, but CCMU isn't? Even if we get injured, CCMU won't be any better off. But they have 5 peak rank, 1 reserve members. Bairuashi said solemnly. The school is worried about their exchange strategy. Use a few reserve members to severely injure our main members. If the main members are injured, among our reserve members, only Tang Songting is peak rank 1. Recently, Chen Yunqi had been dealt with so many blows that she had no sense of existence. Even her own instructor had ignored her, so Chen Yunqi did not say anything. The final victory or defeat is still in the last match, so we still need to preserve more of our strength. The school's suggestion was not bad. The battle between first and second place would only be in the last match. Because MCMEU's reserve members were not as strong as CCMEU's, in tomorrow's match, if too many of their main members were injured, the last match would be very difficult. If tomorrow's main members were well preserved, then CCMEU's reserve members would be useless. The finals were on the 15th. After defeating their main members, they did not have to fight their reserve members anymore. Fong Ping said in a low voice, Then what's the school's order of battle? Tang Songting, Zhao Shumei, Fu Chaning, Yang Xiaoman. The 4 of them will fight. You and Zhao Lei, one of you will hold the line. Actually, Instructor Tang Feng thinks that Fong Ping can also not fight. Let Jean Lei from the reserve team go. Isn't that obvious that they're going to lose? Zhao Lei was slightly dissatisfied. Although his words implied that he did not trust his teammates, what he said was also true. If Fong Ping and Zhao Lei did not fight, and Jean Lei was only an upper stage rank 1, it would be strange if he did not lose against Han Su, Fong Wenxiang, and the others. Even if we lose, we still have a chance to turn the tables. Tang Feng walked in from outside the door and said loudly, Leave a few of the main members to prepare for the finals on the 15th. This is the key to deciding the final victory or defeat. But Grandmaster also said today that martial artists are not afraid to fight and do not avoid battle. Idiot, this is not being afraid to fight or avoid battle. This is the use of standard battle tactics. Do you mean that when you enter the catacombs, you're going to fight your way into the opponent's lair based on a moment of bravery? Tang Feng criticized Zhao Lei and looked at Fong Ping, saying, You're the captain. What do you say? Fong Ping exhaled slightly and said, I don't want to lose, and I don't want to fight another match, but the school's worries are not without reason. Zhao Lei, stay. I knew it. Zhao Lei's face was full of unwillingness. He knew this would be the result. From the beginning to the end, he did not even get a chance to fight. As for the finals, who knew what would happen in the finals? It was hard to say whether he could fight or not. Then it's settled. You'll hold the line tomorrow. Fong Ping frowned slightly and said, Why don't I be the starter tomorrow? If Zhao Lei did not fight and he held the line, Fong Ping was worried that the 4 people in front would be under a lot of pressure. No need. You hold the line and observe the situation. If the situation is not good, in the end, I'll allow you to preserve your strength. Although Tang Feng did not say it clearly, everyone understood what he meant. If the 4 people in front could not win tomorrow and were at an obvious disadvantage, then Fong Ping would be the last to fight. He did not have to fight too fiercely, and his priority was to preserve his strength. Waiting for the finals on the 15th, Fong Ping did not say a word, but Yang Xiaoman pouted and said, "Instructor, don't worry, we're not to be trifled with. Try not to get seriously injured. Tomorrow is not the deciding match." Tang Feng reminded them again. As for whether or not they listened, even if he was an instructor, he could not force them. After being hyped up by the crowd for the past few days, martial artists going up to fight to the death had become the only thought in everyone's minds. Asking them to avoid battle now would be a bigger blow to these proud and arrogant students. After discussing the order of battle for a while, Tang Feng left quickly. Before he left, he did not forget to ask Fong Ping to collect 5 rank 1 vitality pills. After receiving the 5 rank 1 vitality pills from the logistics department, Fong Ping was happy again. In the past few days, the school had distributed 10 normal vitality pills, 10 rank 1 vitality pills, 2 rank 2 vitality pills, and a number of healing pills. In total, Fong Ping's wealth had increased by about 4 million. The school's compensation for the past half a month had also helped him break even. In mid-December, when Fong Ping had just broken through to peak rank 1, his wealth was 11 million, and his vitality was 319 calories. Now, after a month, although he did not break through to rank 2, his strength had improved significantly. Wealth, 100,000,000 vitality. 310 calories, 330 calories, mentality. 279 hertz, 299 hertz, bones honed. 62 bones, 90%. 14 bones, 40%. 130 bones, 30%. After a month, his vitality had reached a value of 330 calories. Even Fong Ping was surprised. He thought that 320 calories was his limit. In terms of bone honing, because of the body honing pills, part of the bones in his hands had been honed. Other than these changes, the biggest change was naturally the improvement of his combat techniques. In the arena, Fong Ping had already demonstrated that both of his combat techniques had reached the stage of a killer move. His pole standing was also at the elevated stance. Among the new students, or even all rank 1 martial artists, this kind of strength could be considered top-notch. CCMEU's strength is not weak. Although Han Su only defeated 2 opponents at once, that was because he was injured by Sun Mingyu's desperate attack. Otherwise, he might not have stopped at the 3rd battle. Fong Wenxiang, that guy defeated Chun Jiaxing in less than a few moves. He took on Chun Jiaxing's dual sabers and defeated him with a few heaven-shaking punches. Although Chun Jiaxing had fought 2 battles before and used a lot of his vitality, he is still a rank 2 and was almost killed by Fong Wenxiang. Thinking of this, Fong Ping did not let his guard down. The school hoped that they could preserve their combat strength tomorrow, but young people, even if Fong Ping was in his past life, were still young people. Which young person was not proud and arrogant, who would be able to accept that they would be defeated before the battle even started? CCMEU, that night, Fong Ping did not overdo his cultivation and quickly went to bed to rest. Fong Yuan and the others did not disturb Fong Ping. They all knew that they would be fighting CCMEU tomorrow. Even if Fong Ping's strength was strong, CCMEU had defeated 2 rank 2 martial artists in the Martial Arts University Alliance and had always been known as the #1 martial arts university. No one would underestimate CCMEU. January 13th, MCMEU Gym. Later, it will be the battle between CCMEU and MCMEU. Speaking of CCMEU and MCMEU, there are too many grudges between them. The battle for the #1 martial arts university in Sino Nation. The battle between North and South martial arts universities. CCMU looks down on MCMEU, and MCMU looks down on CCMEU. All these years, the 2 martial arts universities have been fighting over these things. The topic is off topic. I'm afraid that the Grandmaster powerhouses will shut my mouth. Lu Huarong laughed and ended this more controversial topic. According to the competition rules, the loser of today will have to compete with the Martial Arts University Alliance tomorrow. The winner will then fight with the winner of today for first place. So, it's very likely that today will be the first battle between CCMAU and MCMAU. Both sides may meet the day after tomorrow. Under these circumstances, it's worth considering whether to preserve their strength for the finals or to fight with their backs to the wall and win the first victory. Lu Huarong was also very clear about the competition rules. He deliberated and said, "The outcome this time is really hard to judge. In the first battle on the 11th, CCMU's performance is strong, but CCMU also has a main team member who is injured. On MCMU's side, Captain Fong Ping defeated 4 people. Other than Fu Chanding, the other 3 main players have not fought. Their strength is unpredictable. To be honest, I can't really tell what the chances of winning are for both sides now. If that's the case, then let's not talk too much. Let's look at both sides' battle lineups first." As his voice fell, the big screen displayed the battle lineups of both sides. CCMU, Wei Shujie, Long Tao, Han Su, Fong Wenxiang, Lu Haoming. "This lineup is interesting." Lu Huarong laughed and said, "CCMU's Li Ran and Zhang Jingguang were injured in the last round and did not fight this time. I don't know if it's because their injuries don't allow them to fight, or because they are preserving their strength. Although Long Tao and Lu Haoming are reserve team members, they also have the strength of peak rank 1. Wei Shujie is the main player in the starting lineup, but Han Su and Fong Wenxiang are arranged as 3rd and 4th. Everyone has seen their strength. They are both strong rank 1 players who can defeat rank 2. Can MCMU's Fong Ping defeat these 2 consecutive lineups? MCMU has also adjusted their lineups. No MCMU members are injured. Is this to preserve their strength? Are they planning to preserve their strength from the beginning? MCMU, Zhao Xiumei, Fu Chanding, Yang Xiaoman, Tang Songting, Fong Ping. The main player Zhao Lei did not fight. Instead, Tang Songting, who is also peak rank 1, will fight. Fong Ping will hold the line. This situation is not very good for MCMAU. As Lu Huarong spoke, Chun Shuian added, "If Han Su defeats the first 4 people, then Fong Ping will have to face Han Su, Fong Wenxiang, and Long Tao." Zhao Lei is the champion of Magic City's Martial Sciences examination. He is also a twice-honed martial artist, and is even close to the level of a thrice-honed. Now that Zhao Lei has not gone up, MCMU's situation is not too good. It should be for the finals the day after tomorrow. The words of the 2 hosts in the front also spread to the back. Zhao Xiumei and the others looked indignant. Fu Chanding said angrily, "If Zhao Lei doesn't go up, will we lose for sure? Where do they put me, Fu Chanding? Just wait and see. This time, they must be shocked. I, Yang Xiaoman, am not someone to be trifled with." Yang Xiaoman snorted softly. She was obviously dissatisfied. Zhao Xiumei looked a little nervous. Bai Ruashi comforted her softly. "Don't be nervous. We let you go for the first battle because we considered that your fighting style is suitable for the first battle." Although Zhao Xiumei was a woman, her fighting style was fierce, which was good for the following team members. Yang Xiaoman also comforted her. Wei Shujie is nothing to worry about. Last time, he was easily defeated by Chun Jiaxing. Chen Yunxi, who had been silent all this while, said softly, "He is also a twice-honed martial artist. Xiumei, you should be careful." CCMU's main team was made up of twice-honed martial artists. There might even be thrice-honed martial artists. Currently, there was no accurate information. It was true that Wei Shujie lost to Chun Jiaxing last time, but Chun Jiaxing was a rank 2 martial artist. Moreover, he was a powerful rank 2 martial artist. She could not underestimate him just because of this. Zhao Xiumei nodded. She took a deep breath, raised her alloy staff, and exhaled. "Don't worry. I won't embarrass MCMAU. I won't embarrass everyone. Be careful," Fong Ping reminded her. Zhao Xiumei fought with no regard for her life, which worried Fong Ping. Moreover, Zhao Xiumei had only entered peak rank 1 recently. She was still a once-honed martial artist. Her vitality limit was not as high as her opponent's. This worried Fong Ping. He was afraid that she would fight to the death. It would be troublesome if she was seriously injured. "It's okay. I know what I'm doing," Zhao Xiumei said and walked toward the front desk. Chapter 161. MCMU Zhao Xuemei is one of the few girls in this championship. She hasn't fought before. CCMU's Wei Shujie is the starter. Although Wei Shujie lost to Chun Jiaxing, he was able to retreat unscathed. It's clear that Wei Shujie is also very strong. Following Liu Huarong's introduction, the martial artists from both sides went on stage. Wei Shujie used a long staff as well. Among rank 1 martial artists focused on the basics. Sabers and staffs were the most commonly used weapons, followed by swords. Spears, axes, and halberds were much rarer. MCMAU, Zhao Xuemei. Capital City Martial Arts University, Wei Shujie. Just as the two finished their introductions, there was a sudden roar from below the stage. MCMU will win. Defeat CCMU. MCMU will win. CCMU will win. 1 against 5. Many people from both universities came to watch the battle. The grudges between CCMAU and MCMAU were innumerable. The first and second rarely had a harmonious relationship. Before the national championship was officially announced, these two universities would compete in private almost every year. MCMU lost more often than they won. Silence. A powerhouse shouted, interrupting the cheers. The referee was not in a hurry to announce the start. He waited for the crowd to quiet down before shouting, "Begin!" At the start, Zhao Xuemei and Wei Shujie moved at the same time. Wei Shujie's first move was a vertical strike with his staff. The strength of the vitality outburst surprised many people. "Bastard!" Backstage, Yang Xiaoman roared. Wei Shujie had hidden his strength in the last round. In the last round, Wei Shujie's vitality outburst was 30 calories at most. Perhaps CCMU had been scheming against MCMU and did not let Wei Shujie show his true strength. After all, he might not be Chun Jiaxing's match, even if he went all out. There was still Fong Wenxiang to hold the line anyway. He had lost so easily that many people looked down on him, including MCMU's side. This time, however, Wei Shujie was the starter. His first strike had a vitality outburst of 50 calories. Zhao Xuemei was not a martial artist who honed her upper limbs. At first, she went up with the intention of fighting fiercely. Yang Xiaoman cursed angrily, but Tang Feng frowned and said, "Maybe it's to trick Fong Ping." Wei Shujie was the starter. Based on MCMU's previous situation, if Fong Ping was the starter, he would probably be the first to encounter his opponent. If Fong Ping underestimated the other party, he might be counterattacked. Fong Ping did not pay attention to what he said. Instead, he kept his eyes on the front desk. Wei Shujie's move of exploding 50 calories vitality was clearly out of Zhao Xuemei's expectations. At this moment, Zhao Xuemei could no longer retreat or dodge. She had no intention of backing down. The next moment, the two rods collided with each other. Clang! With a loud bang, Zhao Xuemei retreated several steps. Her face was flushed, but she didn't vomit blood. Wei Shujie's first strike was successful, and he did not hesitate. He instantly caught up and began his second strike. This time, Zhao Xuemei used her staff to block the attack. Bang! The staff in her hand trembled and blood dripped from her hand. Zhao Xuemei pursed her lips and remained silent. She took a few more steps back. Wei Shujie's 2 consecutive attacks were blocked by Zhao Xuemei. He was a little surprised. His 2 attacks were not that easy to block. He knew Zhao Xuemei's situation. She was only a one-tone martial artist. Wei Shujie's vitality was close to 300 calories. Other than preserving the necessary vitality to survive, he could at least hack 4 to 5 times with his full strength. If Zhao Xuemei took another hit from him, her internal organs would probably be severely injured. Wei Shujie did not care what this woman was thinking. Since she was taking it head-on, he would not go easy on her. Before the audience could react, Wei Shujie's staff swept horizontally, whistling through the air. Clang! Another crisp sound came from the third strike. Zhao Xuemei's hands trembled violently. The staff vibrated nonstop. In the next moment, the staff in Zhao Xuemei's hands slipped and fell to the ground with a clang. Wei Shujie's face lit up. All 3 strikes had been blocked. At this moment, Zhao Xuemei was seriously injured. This woman is putting on a brave front. Wei Shujie had no intention of showing mercy, even though he had this thought in his mind. In the blink of an eye, his fourth strike landed. The purpose of today's battle was to severely injure MCMAU's main team members. As for the next battle, he was not prepared to fight. Their goal was to retreat in one piece. Just as his fourth strike landed, Zhao Xuemei, who had been retreating, suddenly pounced forward like a ferocious tiger. Slightly avoiding the front end of the staff, Zhao Xuemei suddenly grabbed the back end of the staff. Wei Shujie was not afraid. It would not be easy for Zhao Xuemei, who had not honed her upper limb bones, to grab his weapon. At this moment, Zhao Xuemei, who had been silent all this time, suddenly opened her mouth. An arrow of blood shot straight at his face. Wei Shujie did not expect Zhao Xuemei to use the blood she had been holding back and not spit it out. The speed of the blood arrow was extremely fast, and the distance between them was very close. In the next moment, the blood arrow shot straight at Wei Shujie's eyes. Wei Shujie had no choice but to close his eyes. His hands were not slow at all. He put down the staff in his right hand and punched fiercely at Zhao Xuemei. Zhao Xuemei had no intention of dodging. At the same time that Wei Shujie's fist came, Zhao Xuemei took advantage of his closed eyes and could not see his movements. She kicked out fiercely. Her target was the other party's genitals. She chose to injure both sides. Even if she had to take the opponent's punch, she would cripple Wei Shujie. From Wei Shujie's first strike, Zhao Xuemei knew that she was no match for him. Instead of being the only one crippled, she would rather injure both sides. Bang! Zhao Xuemei's left shoulder took a heavy punch. Her bones made a crisp sound, but in the next moment, Zhao Xuemei kicked her opponent's genitals. Ah! The one who burst out screaming was not Zhao Xuemei, but Wei Shujie. Wei Shujie obviously did not expect that his opponent would choose to take his punch head-on instead of dodging. In addition, his eyes could not see clearly. In a moment of carelessness, he was kicked by Zhao Xuemei. A blood-curdling scream erupted. Following that, Wei Shujie knelt on the ground, moaning in pain. Zhao Xuemei had taken 3 strikes head-on, and now she was punched head-on. Her internal organs were already badly injured. Just as Wei Shujie knelt on the ground, Zhao Xuemei fell to the ground with a bang. Blood kept flowing out of her mouth. The referee frowned slightly and quickly said, Zhao Xuemei wins. Carry her away. Wei Shujie was the first to fall, so Zhao Xuemei was declared the winner. But at that moment, victory or defeat was no longer important. Both of them were seriously injured. Zhao Xuemei's injuries were worse than Wei Shujie's. However, Wei Shujie's genitals were injured. No one knew what the outcome would be. For a man, this was more troublesome than a serious injury. F***, I'm scared. Fu Chanding clutched his genitals and shuddered. Then he asked, Are you okay? You go to the competition first. We'll go to the infirmary. Fong Ping instructed and immediately led the others to the infirmary. For this competition, an emergency infirmary had been set up backstage in the stadium. Soon, they arrived at the infirmary. Yang Xiaoman and Chen Yunxi's eyes were bloodshot. They looked at Zhao Xuemei, who was still vomiting blood. Xuemei, Dr. Xuemei, her internal organs are injured, but it's good that she's not dead. She needs to rest for a month or so to heal her internal organs. Don't fight recklessly for 3 months. She won't die. The doctor had seen this kind of situation many times. This time, the medical team was specially transferred from the catacombs. As long as a person did not die and was willing to spend pills and resources, they could recover under normal circumstances. Of course, if it was like Sun Mingyu's broken palm, even if it was reconnected, it would still affect him in the later stages. However, at least 2 months of cultivation would be delayed. Hearing that Zhao Xuemei could recover, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The blood in Zhao Xuemei's mouth had stopped. She was still conscious. She said with difficulty, I'm fine. Fong Ping did not say anything. It was not the first time Zhao Xuemei was competitive. This time, she knew she could not win, but in the end, she still wanted to hurt both sides and cripple Wei Shujie. Thinking of this, Fang Ping was a little curious. How was Wei Shujie? He would not be crippled all of a sudden, would he? If that was the case, for a man, it would be worse than Sun Mingyu. At this moment, Wei Shujie was not here. He was in the inner room. A few people from CCME were there too. Fang Ping could not go and watch the show. Rest well, Fang Ping reminded them. Seeing that Bai Ruoshi had also come, he did not stay here for long. There was still a fight ahead. Martial artists unleashed their full strength, went to the arena, fought for life and death, and decided victory or defeat very quickly. When Fang Ping and the others returned, they saw Fu Changding roaring and nailing Long Tao's thigh to the ground. How dare you bully the people of MCMAU? I'll kill you. Fu Changding did not know Zhao Xuemei's condition, but it was obviously not light. He was furious now. Under full strength, he directly dealt a fatal blow. If Long Tao had not dodged in time, it would be his chest that was nailed to the ground. Coincidentally, Han Su and the others from CCMAU had also returned. Seeing this, Han Su's face darkened. Everyone from CCMU looked pale too. Wei Shujie had been seriously injured by Zhao Xuemei. The doctor said that he would try his best to save that thing. In short, the situation was very critical. Even if he could save it this time, he could forget about going on stage in this round. Now that Long Tao was also seriously injured, Fu Changding was still talking nonsense. How could everyone not be angry? As the CCMU instructor on the second floor admitted defeat, the medical team quickly carried people off the stage. 5 minutes into the battle, 3 people left the stage with serious injuries. Han Su did not wait for the referee to speak. He directly carried his long spear onto the stage. When Fu Changding saw him, he sneered. Why are you still using the spear? You might as well take out your sword. Fu Changding, do you think you can beat me? Han Su was not in a hurry. He said lightly, you learned the spear because of a psychological trauma, right? Back then, I shot you until you were bedridden for 2 months, Fu Changding snorted coldly. What's the point of bringing up the old stuff? Back then was back then. Don't tell me that everyone in the world who learned the spear was influenced by you, Han Su. What a joke. You and Tang Songting were actually able to enter the championship. That's beyond my expectations. I thought that MCMDU was full of talents and that the two of you would not be able to go up no matter what. As Han Su spoke, he continued, but it doesn't matter. Back then, I could beat you until you couldn't even lift your heads. It's the same now. Then let's try. As soon as he finished speaking, the long spear hummed softly and was already stabbing forward. Han Su did not take the attack. His silhouette moved and instantly left the spot. Fu Changding had seen his footwork last time. This time he was not careless. The long spear instantly turned from stabbing to sweeping, with him as the center, sweeping in all directions. In the next moment, Han Su's silhouette appeared. I originally wanted to save some energy, but after thinking about it, I'll finish you off cleanly. I'll use a spear. I'll let you remember for the rest of your life that as long as Han Su, use a spear, you'll never be a match for me. Han Su was still in the mood to talk now. On one hand, it was to destroy Fu Changding's morale. On the other hand, it showed that he was indeed at ease. There was an explosion in the air. Han Su's long spear swept forward quickly and collided with Fu Changding's long spear. Bang! Sparks flew. In the next moment, Han Su's arm thickened and his temples caved in. Lu Huarong, who had been paying attention to the competition, exclaimed, thrice honed. No, his upper limbs have been honed before. It might be higher than 30%. Han Su had also honed his lower limbs, but at this moment his arms suddenly thickened and exploded with a strong vitality. I thought Han Su was faster because of his footwork. Now it seems that I've underestimated Han Su. His vitality outburst is 60 calories. He's no weaker than Fang Ping. Chen Shuyan continued. Fang Ping has met a strong opponent. Han Su is faster than him and has mastered a killer move. The two of them might not meet. By the time they finished speaking, Fu Changding and Han Su had already exchanged more than 10 blows in the arena. Han Su did not have an outburst every time, but his movements were faster than Fu Chanding's. After more than 10 blows, Fu Chanding was obviously at a disadvantage. Fu Chanding's face was flushed, and his heart was filled with rage. Suddenly, Fu Chanding roared, "Taste the Luo family spear." After saying that, the long spear in his hand swung out instantly, causing a wave of shock in the air. Han Su's expression turned solemn. He did not plan to take Fu Chanding's move head-on. Han Su moved his feet and chose to dodge. However, in the next moment, everyone was a little confused. Fu Chanding's long spear swept out, but he threw it away carelessly. He let the long spear fly, not caring if it would hurt anyone. There were so many grandmasters present. The long spear flew off the stage with a whoosh. Before the powerhouses on the second floor could act, the referee casually grabbed the long spear and caught it. Fu Chanding, on the other hand, was already sprinting toward Han Su after throwing the long spear. Han Su's attention was attracted by the long spear just now. He was not paying attention, and Fu Chanding closed in on him. Bang, 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 both of them closed in. Fu Chanding's fists and legs moved at the same time. Han Su did not hesitate either, engaging in close combat with him. Both of them moved extremely quickly. A few seconds later, a figure flew out with a bang. Everyone focused and saw that it was Fu Chanding. Fu Chanding's face was pale, and blood seeped out of his mouth, but he was smiling smugly. After he finished smiling, his gaze quickly shifted to the second floor. He would not admit defeat. Tang Feng, who was on the second floor, looked a little helpless. He said, "Admit defeat." Only then did everyone have time to look at Han Su. Han Su's face was also a little pale, but it was much better than Fu Chanding's. However, there was obviously a reason why Fu Chanding was smiling smugly. At this moment, Han Su's eyes were dark purple. Both of his eyes could barely open, and there was blood dripping from his nose. Fu Chanding took a few blows from him and punched him in the face a few times, almost disfiguring Han Su's face. Han Su's vitality was not depleted yet, but his eyes were becoming more and more swollen. It was obvious that he was about to lose his sight. When a rank 1 martial artist lost their vision, it was difficult for them to determine location by listening to the wind. Right now, Han Su obviously did not have much combat strength left. "Nice hit." Seeing Fu Chanding being carried down, Fang Ping gave him a rare compliment. Han Su had been beaten up to this extent. He might not be Yang Xiaoman's match next. Fu Chanding panted and smiled with difficulty. "This is nothing. Look at his face. You have to make him fight all the way to the finals with a pig's head." Everyone's depression from Zhao Xuemei's serious injuries earlier was now much better. They laughed immediately. Yang Xiaoman was wearing boxing gloves now. She humphed and said, "Watch me. I'll show those bastards who dare to hit women." She was talking about CCMEU and Fang Ping. Fang Ping rolled his eyes. After some thought, he reminded her, "Han Su's vision is damaged. You should have a chance against him, but Fang Wenxiang's not weak. Don't get too hurt. You still have to fight them the day after tomorrow." Got it? Chapter 162. On the stage, Yang Xiaoman looked at Han Su and gritted her teeth. Wasn't Han Su supposed to restrain Fang Ping? Fine, I'll cripple this guy today and make him unable to go on stage. Naturally, there's no need to talk about restraining myself. Although he did not want to admit it, Fang Ping was indeed the strongest in MCMAU. If he defeated Han Su, Fang Ping's chances of winning would be higher. As the referee's voice fell, Yang Xiaoman went straight to Han Su. Although Han Su's eyes were very swollen, he could still see a little. Seeing that Yang Xiaoman wanted to fight in close combat, Han Su also became determined. Since the start of the battle with the Martial Arts University Alliance, he had been repeatedly challenged by others. Even if he was not weak, it was still extremely difficult for him to win. Although Fu Chanding had lost earlier, his injuries were worse than his. However, the other party had beaten his eyes red and swollen. At this moment, Han Su only felt that his eyes were in unbearable pain, and he became even more agitated. Yang Xiaoman closed in on him, but Han Su did not dodge at all. The next moment, Yang Xiaoman's iron fist was aimed straight at his face. Han Su was even more exasperated. He was also furious. He grabbed Yang Xiaoman's fist with both hands. His main purpose was to hone his lower limbs, and he was thrice honed. He could not rely solely on weapons to unleash his strength. Grabbing both of Yang Xiaoman's fists, Han Su exerted strength in his legs and kicked out with his right foot. Yang Xiaoman wasn't afraid of him. She lifted her leg and kicked, not to defend, but to kick his crotch. Bastard. The people below the CCMEU platform could not help but curse. Were all the women in MCMEU so King Savage? Attacking the nether regions had become a must-have move. Han Su wasn't so angry this time. He clamped his legs and firmly clamped her legs. This move was effective against Wei Shujia, but it was useless against him. He wasn't blind, it was just that his vision was a little blurry. While Han Su was thinking, the two of them were entangled. At this moment, the distance between them was extremely great. Yang Xiaoman didn't struggle too much. At this moment, she suddenly slammed her head forward. Bang! This sound was exceptionally loud. Then, the two separated their hands and feet. Yang Xiaoman staggered a few steps, her forehead covered with blood. Han Su was in an even worse state. He staggered to the side. The three lower ranks did not hone the skull. His face had already been punched a few times by Fu Chanding, and Yang Xiaoman's head but almost killed him. Off stage. Female martial artist. Many people muttered to themselves, female martial artists are all lunatics. Don't even think about marrying a female martial artist. The few MCMAU instructors on the second floor were also shocked. When did the girls in the team become so violent? They knew that Zhao Xuemei was vicious. But Yang Xiaoman wasn't this ruthless before, was she? This collision of heads was not the slightest bit ambiguous. Han Su did not feel good, and neither did Yang Xiaoman. Was this woman not afraid of being disfigured? Backstage, Fang Ping shrunk his neck, a little embarrassed. He hoped that this woman would not do the same to him one day. Obviously, Yang Xiaoman hadn't come up with this idea on the spur of the moment. She had deliberately entangled her opponent's hands and feet just to wait for this moment. The female members of MCMAU. Beautiful fight. Before Lu Huarong could finish, Chen Shuyin continued. Female martial artists are not weaker than men. Lu Huarong saw her eager look and laughed dryly, carefully avoiding her. Female martial artists seemed to be crazy. While everyone was talking, Yang Xiaoman became a little more clear-headed and ran toward Han Su again. Han Su was much better now, but he still had an unbearable headache. The long spear that he had just put down was once again grasped in his hand. Han Su did not use the spear anymore. He twisted the long sword and stabbed Yang Xiaoman. Yang Xiaoman did not dodge at all. She clenched her hands into fists and grabbed the long sword, letting the long sword's force penetrate her. The tip of the sword pierced her shoulder. She was once again in front of Han Su, her head slamming forward again. CK. Han Su was furious. He could not help but curse. Was this how a competition was fought? Wasn't Zhao Lei the only one who knew the Iron Head technique? Yang Xiaoman was a woman. Could she not do this? Cursing was one thing, but Yang Xiaoman had grabbed his sword forcefully. Her shoulder blade was injured. She would not give him a chance to escape. Bang! A muffled sound rang out again. Han Su could not take it this time. He held his head and retreated. His entire body was dizzy, and his eyes could not see at all. The blood on Yang Xiaoman's forehead had increased, making her look more ferocious. This woman took the initiative to ram her forehead into the opponent. She was much more clear-headed than Han Su. As Han Su retreated, Yang Xiaoman rushed forward again like a ferocious tiger. Hearing the movement, Han Su hurriedly dodged. However, his eyesight was poor, and Yang Xiaoman caught up to him again. This time, Yang Xiaoman was even more ruthless. She did not even grab the sword. She let the long sword pierce through her shoulder and headbutt him again. Han Su was going crazy. He hurriedly tilted his head back. In the next moment, Yang Xiaoman revealed her true intentions. She swiftly and violently kicked him in the groin. Bastard! Han Su's legs quickly clamped, and clamped down on her long legs. However, he did not know if it was too late or if he had been kicked, but a lot of sweat and blood oozed out of Han Su's head and rolled down his face. Yang Xiaoman did not feel good either. Blood was gushing out of her shoulder, but she was still fierce. She grabbed his shoulder with both hands and headbutted him again. Bang! For the third time, their heads collided. This time, Yang Xiaoman fell backward. Han Su staggered and rolled down the edge of the arena. Other than the rise and fall of his chest, he was completely motionless. This match is truly unique, Lu Huarong said dryly. Very quickly, he added, but the members of MCMU really have strong willpower. This girl, Yang Xiaoman, fights even better than the boys. He wanted to say brutal, but it was hard to say. Chen Xiumei, on the other hand, showed a rare smile. She said, female martial artists should be like this. MCMU's female martial artists fought beautifully. Very straightforward. Yang Xiaoman was no match for Han Su, even if he had expended a lot of HP in the early stages. But Yang Xiaoman is not as fast as him, so she may not be able to outlast him. Now Han Su has been hit 3 times, and his genitals are also injured. I don't think he can participate in tomorrow's game. Wei Shujie, Long Tao, and Han Su can't participate. If CCMU loses this time, will they still have the strength to go up against the Martial Arts University Alliance tomorrow? It's the same for MCMU. Zhao Xuemei and Yang Xiaoman can't participate in tomorrow's competition, but Fu Chanding should be able to. If more people get injured later on and MCMU loses, they might not be able to defeat the Martial Arts University Alliance, which still has a rank 2 martial artist. This match has been full of ups and downs. The Martial Arts University Alliance might still have a chance to make a comeback. Next round, CCMU Fong Wenxiang versus MCMU Tang Songting. Backstage, Fong Ping glanced at Yang Xiaoman, who was being carried down. He did not know what to say. At this moment, Tang Songting was about to go on stage again. Fong Ping could only attend to one side. After some thought, he said to the others, "You guys go take a look at Yang Xiaoman. These women are really..." He really did not know what to say. As he said that, Fong Ping glanced at Fu Chanding, who had just limped back and sighed. "They're all fiercer than you are." Fu Chanding panted heavily and said helplessly, "Don't see them as women. Yunqi is still the best." Chen Yunqi's expression changed instantly. She glared at him fiercely and walked toward the medical room. Fu Chanding was a little embarrassed. Fong Ping did not care about them. He looked at Tang Songting and said, "Don't get hurt again. If you get hurt again, we won't be able to gather enough people for the finals." The 2 women could not fight in the finals, but he, Fu Chanding, and Zhao Lei could still fight. However, Tang Songting could not fight, so they could not gather 5 peak rank 1 martial artists. Tang Songting nodded and walked out. 3 minutes later, Tang Songting returned. He was carried down. Both his arms were broken. Fong Ping was completely speechless. This guy could forget about fighting in the finals. On the stage, Fong Wenxiang was still relaxed. Obviously, breaking Tang Songting's arms did not take much effort. Tang Fong walked over and said in a low voice, "The other party still has 2 people. If you can't beat them, then hold back." Fong Ping snorted softly and said impatiently, "If it wasn't for the school not giving me enough pills, I would have been the first to defeat them. It wouldn't have ended up like this with 3 injuries." Tang Fong frowned. After a while, he said, "Don't be too arrogant. It's not arrogance, it's confidence. However, I also know that no one will be satisfied if they don't have a chance to go on stage. If that's the case, I'll cripple the remaining 2. As for the others, you guys can slowly play with them." This was why Fong Ping did not insist on being the first. MCMU's team members had been preparing for so long. Would they be satisfied if they were not given a chance to go on stage? Although they were injured, they were not dead. As long as they were not dead, it was fine. A delay of 1 or 2 months was not a big deal. Everyone had been progressing quickly, so they would not be left behind. The others had already gone on stage to fight. Fong Ping felt that it was about time. I've crippled Fong Wenxiang and that person. Tomorrow, the Martial Arts University Alliance will cripple one or two of them. The day after tomorrow, the reserves team can play with them. After saying that, Fong Ping walked out with his saber. This kid, Tang Feng, did not know where he got his confidence from. Although Fong Ping was strong, he was not ridiculously strong. If he encountered Han Su and Fong Wenxiang, he might not be able to win for sure. This was also the reason he did not let Fong Ping be the first. He was afraid that if Fong Ping was crippled, it would be difficult for him to fight next. In the arena, Fong Ping looked at Fong Wenxiang. He did not care about the time and asked with a smile, "From the Fong family of Donghu?" "Yes. They have the same surname as me. Your family almost caused me to get beaten up by my instructor, because my instructor hates people with the surname Fong." Fong Wenxiang frowned and said lightly, "Is that so? Then I'm sorry." "No need. The best way to apologize is to cripple you." Fong Ping grinned. "Also, I've been annoyed by your arm guard for a long time." Fong Wenxiang laughed and shook his head. "You're very confident. Because I'm very strong. I don't think the battle between rank 1 martial artists is very interesting. My goal is the Sea of Stars, 2nd floor." An old man suddenly laughed and said, "Old Huang, since when did the little fella from MCMU talk so much nonsense?" Huang Jing said lightly, "Lu Fengru's student, old devil Fong, you better be careful. Lu Fengru has wanted to beat you to death for a long time." He Lu Fengru is just relying on... What? Not convinced? I won't argue with you. I want to see what Lu Fengru's student can do. Following the words of the two grandmasters on the 2nd floor, below the stage, Fong Ping continued, "Aren't you very confident? You haven't been avoiding or defending. This time, let's be more straightforward and not hide. What do you think?" Fong Wenxiang frowned again. "If that's what you want, I don't mind." "All right, you said it." Before Fong Ping finished speaking, his Changdao was already in the air. This time, the air vibrated especially violently. One of the spectators in the front row felt the pressure instantly. Manic Explosion's ultimate move. Lu Huarong was also shocked. He exclaimed, "Fong Wenxiang dodge." The vitality outburst of this slash had reached 100 calories. Before the Changdao reached him, Fong Wenxiang already felt a strong threat and unparalleled pressure. "Roar!" Fong Wenxiang roared angrily, raising both his arms quickly to block. "Dodge my ass!" Fong Ping followed him like a shadow. His movements were not as fast as Fong Ping's. If he dodged, he would be cut in half by Fong Ping. Thud! A loud noise was heard. The Changdao slashed the arm guard, creating sparks from the friction. Fong Wenxiang roared, but his legs were still bent. His face was red, and blood was spewing from his mouth. Just when he thought that he had blocked the slash, Lu Huarong was shocked again. Double slash. Ultimate move. Double slash. Only when a rank 1 martial artist had a vitality outburst of around 100 calories would it be considered an ultimate move. Rank 1 martial artists who were twice honed only had a high vitality of around 300 calories. Double slash was more than 200 calories vitality. This would deplete almost all of the vitality that could be used. If 2 slashes could not kill the enemy, martial artists with insufficient vitality would be at the mercy of others. Fong Wenxiang heard it too and felt the pressure coming from above his head. When he thought of Fong Ping's vitality being depleted, he would be at the mercy of others if he blocked this move. Fong Wenxiang did not hesitate anymore. He roared again, shouting, "Shake the heavens!" A punch that shook the heavens. Instead of defending, it was better to take the initiative to attack. 80 calories vitality outburst. Chun Shuyan was also shocked. These two people were so strong. Clang! A loud noise was heard again. Fong Ping took a small step back, but Fong Wenxiang took a few steps back. Blood dripped from his mouth. Not only was blood dripping from his mouth, but blood was also dripping from his fists that were wrapped in boxing gloves through the ventilation holes. Although Fong Wenxiang had blocked the slash, it was not surprising that his fists were heavily injured and his bones were broken. "Let's see how you die," Fong Wenxiang roared. His vitality was not as depleted as Fong Ping's, Before he finished speaking, Fong Wenxiang had already rushed forward. His fists could not move, but he still had his legs. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly opened his mouth and said, "The pill is here. Do you want to eat it?" After saying that, Fong Ping's vitality began to recover rapidly. F***CK. Fong Wenxiang had almost forgotten about this. He had almost forgotten that Fong Ping did not consume the pill during the competition. Just as he was about to deliver himself to him, Fong Ping struck again for the third time. "Surrender!" Someone on the second floor shouted. The referee hurriedly pulled Fong Wenxiang back. As they retreated, Fong Ping strode forward and chased after them. A powerhouse on the second floor said angrily, "He surrendered. Why are you still chasing?" "I consumed the pill. Compensate me with the pill, and I won't chase anymore." Fong Ping was also furious. "I just consumed a rank 1 vitality pill. I haven't even used it yet, and you actually surrendered." The referee was speechless. He had no choice but to kick Fong Ping's Changdao. He did not dare to take this attack with his bare hands. After all, Fong Ping was only a rank 1. When the rank 5 referee attacked, Fong Ping's saber slid sideways and struck the pillar at the side of the arena. With a loud bang, the pillar was split into pieces. Fong Ping panted and stared at Fong Wenxiang, who still had a lingering fear in his heart. He huffed and said, "Consider yourself lucky. Just you wait the day after tomorrow. Surrender now, or I'll definitely kill you." Fong Wenxiang's face was flushed. He spat out another mouthful of blood. The 2 slashes just now had injured him badly. "Can you go on stage the day after tomorrow?" "Probably not. But if you don't compensate me for the pill, I'll slash you every time I see you." Fong Wenxiang was completely dizzy. He was really dizzy. Blood flowed freely from his mouth. On the second floor, Grandmaster Fong's face darkened. Huang Jing grinned and said, "Old Devil Fong, this kid comes from a poor family. He treats every pill like a treasure. If your grandson doesn't compensate him for the pills, I guarantee that what he said is true. I'll slash him every time I see him." "Humph, don't even think about making a move. This is an MCMEU student and also Lu Fengru's student. Let your grandson think about it." After saying that, Huang Jing said nonchalantly again, "TSK. If he takes a pill in advance and uses the ultimate move 3 consecutive slashes, can he do 4 consecutive slashes, 5 consecutive slashes?" Sigh, CCMU, be careful. It's not that we don't want to save him if he dies this time. As soon as he said that, the few CCMAU instructors' faces darkened. How the F***CK were they supposed to fight? That was because Fong Ping, who was below the arena, had swallowed 2 rank 1 vitality pills in a row. His vitality was slowly recovering. P.S. Thank you, ZCX Diver Boss, for your reward. Thank you, 3325 Boss, for your reward. Thank you, 3 Soy Sauce Not Passing By, Lufa Stir Fried Youtiao, Feng Yuan, for your reward. Thank you to all friends who subscribed, rewarded, and voted. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.